All right, we're gonna kick this right off. I know Joe has a million intro videos that he does, but I don't know how to do those yet. So, got with me,
Here we
John.
go.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Here we go. I got that one. I remember that one. Okay. And we got the Disciple of Rock here. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing good, excited. It's about football season.
It is.
More excited for the college football season than the NFL. The NFL's kind of losing it for me, but college football, man, college football, there's so much drama in college football going on right now, and
Indeed.
it's really exciting.
Put this up here. Perfect. That'll work. And of course, I'm not here for the Sunday shows as always, just because I love football. We're all football fans here. Joe will be back here on this particular show when we do our official start on September 6th. We're just doing a little bit of a special show. Joe had asked, knowing he wasn't going to be here, he asked if me and John can take care of it. And of course, luckily we got Disciple to come as well. Thank you for coming. And yeah, and then he's going to be on the show tonight at 7 o'clock doing his late night. I'm not sure if his brother's going to be. He's with his brother right now up in Maine. So I'm thinking they'll both be on the show tonight. But and then he returns full time on the 12th. So what is that, 3 days from now? He'll be back full time because I know he usually does a couple of shows on Monday and Tuesday. But he will be back Sunday or Wednesday, I believe that is. So is that Wednesday, the 12th, or is that Tuesday?
That's Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. And then I guess that means we'll be back for our show on Wednesday nights, maybe.
Yes, we will. Sweet. And we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. We've been out a couple of weeks, so Joe's taking care of some personal things, so we'll just continue on while we can. And we're going to start this week with a little bit of college football. We are going to discuss the Hall of Fame stuff as well. It is, of course, the Halloween Hall of Fame show, so we of course are going to get that. But because I like college, we're going to start with that first. We usually always do in our football shows. So let's start with that and just kind of get a little reminder of what happened at the end of last year. We're going to start with the CFP. Alabama getting a big win over Oklahoma. Oklahoma went up early in that game, but Alabama came back and beat them. The two group of 6 teams, which made them change the rules, which we'll discuss here in a bit, they both got kind of beat up in the first round. And, of course, Miami and Texas A&M in just a pure defensive slog in that game. This was Joe's kind of game for sure. But Miami,
that game was painful because A&M could have really won that game. They
had their chances. They had their chances, 100%. So, and then of course the next week, Ohio State one and done against Miami. That's always fun to watch. I mean, it's when the big time schools get knocked down a peg, because Miami didn't even win the ACC, by the way. They came in because of as an at-large team, so that was fun.
Big game day,
Mm-hmm. And then of course Indiana, Indiana with the smoke show on Alabama. Good for them. Ole Miss with their coach leaving, still winning and getting a win over Georgia. Texas Tech unfortunately did absolutely nothing. Their defense actually did pretty solid, but as you can see, 3-3, 7-10, they just eventually got tired, right? It's zero when you have zero help from your offense. Eventually, you bend and break, right?
Yeah.
So Oregon got that one, and then of course you got next week where Ole Miss, man, they were outperforming, and Trinidad Chambliss looks really good, or Chambliss, excuse me, and. But Miami got the edge on there. And, of course, Indiana just smoke show against Oregon. That was fun to watch. And then, of course, you had the finale with Miami and Indiana. Kurt Cignetti going up the ranks. Never been done before. One of the most losest teams in the history of college sports. And within 2 years, took them into the playoffs the first year. In the second year, won the national championship. Never happened before. I can't wait until Kevin Costner plays his movie.
In Indiana, I will tell you, someone pointed this out. All the other schools were cheating to win back, before we actually could do the NIL. Indiana was probably the only school that didn't do it at this point.
No, I mean they barely had any players that were 4 and 5 stars, right? Especially the year before. It was mostly his folks that he brought up from James Madison, and they were still winning games.
And what
It's
a run,
crazy.
and just like what a run. Like this is probably one of the best college football runs of all time.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't wait for the movie. This is going to be
Kevin
a fantastic
Costner.
movie. Yeah, Kevin Costner. Yeah. I don't know which he'll play. If he'll play the quarterback or if he'll play the coach, but
He'll be the
Kevin
coach.
Costner will
He's
be in
too
it,
old.
or the GM maybe the AD. He'll
Yeah,
play
he could
something.
be the yeah.
He'll play
be
something, but Kevin Costner will be in that movie. So that was just a quick summary of the game. So just kind of looking at some changes that were made. One of them being like the 5-year rules. Now there's not going to really be any more red shirts because you just straight up get 5 years no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not going to be any more, do they play for 4 weeks and then they're out for the rest of the year, and then they get redshirted and then they have 4 more years to play, basically. There's not going to be any more, medical red shirts. There's not going to be a whole lot of anything as far as I know. And one thing that I heard, I'd have to confirm it, but me and John were talking about before the show was, I believe now they can transfer once without punishment, but the second time, I believe they have to wait a year before they can play again. Is my understanding. I'll make sure to research that before the next show, but I believe that's what it is. And then, of course, Notre Dame throwing a feat. What do you call it?
A fit.
A fit. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
After they didn't make it because Miami beat them out for that last at-large spot, deservedly so, in my opinion. So now the new rule is if Notre Dame gets in, or if they're in the top 12, they're automatically in the playoffs, no matter what. So that's one of the new changes. And then the second change we got is the Power 4 conference winners are automatically in, no matter their ranking.
Good.
So that would have made Duke. Duke would have been in the last spot. This is basically what it would have looked like if the seedings had been updated with the new rules. Pretty much just leaving out JMU. They weren't happy that how dare they have 2 group of 6 make it because of their own rules.
I will tell you what I hate the most is the schools like Ohio State and Alabama being like, well, it's not fair to them because they'll get blown out. And I'm like, if that team earned it, right, you can't fault them for being in a bad conference because your conference won't take them. So if they went out the games that they were supposed to win, but say, I don't know, some of the schools in the ACC didn't go win the games they were supposed to win, why should they get rewarded?
And it brings up to me, it's because I play a lot of college football, the video game, right?
Yeah.
And just making the playoffs is a huge boost for your team. You can't tell me that going to the playoffs isn't beneficial for James Madison and Tulane and Boise State when they make it and stuff like that.
I'm a diehard UConn fan, right?
It helps with recruiting.
And look, I'm a UConn fan, so we'll never make the playoff. But though that Notre Dame rule should work for us if we ever so happen to find ourselves in the top 12.
Yeah,
because we're an independent. But I'll tell you this: even if we got our butts kicked, I would be ecstatic that we made the college football playoff. Because my opinion is this: you have the right. You should earn the right to get destroyed. Because any team would tell you, we would rather put it out there on the field than let a committee decide.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are complaining about that too. With it, just like the NFL, there's a set standard of what you need to be doing to get to this certain seed.
And you notice over the last couple of years, the SEC has really shut up about breaking off from the NCAA.
Well, it's SEC and Big Ten, really. It's both the 2 super leagues.
Yeah,
that talk's kind of died down because the SEC knows they would get their shit kicked in football and basketball.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've definitely seen. I don't know if it's a complete collapse of the SEC, but the fact that you've had 3 national championships since we changed this new format, in which the SEC clearly gets plenty of opportunities. We got Georgia, we got Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Alabama. 5 teams. 5 teams that made it out of 12. Almost half the teams, and none of them made it to the final.
Yeah, and go look at how they've been doing in college basketball. Florida won, but other than that, they don't really do well in basketball either.
So I think that, and that's one of the things we were kind of discussing it backstage was the NIL stuff. And I think this is like teams like Texas Tech weren't usually on this list in general. Miami has, it's been a while since Miami's been on the list, right? It's like 2000s or whatever. But some of these schools, they now have a better chance, I think, of being able to get those talent that usually before in the past would just be in Alabama's or Georgia's depth.
Yeah.
Right.
I think too, like with even like the NIL stuff, right? Like, if guys are going to get paid to sit, they're going to lose out on their NFL chances, right? So you may get a scenario where, you get a guy that's getting paid top dollar to go to Alabama, but you get a really good second string quarterback, Alabama. He may go to a smaller school just because he knows he'll get the reps.
And I heard before I can't remember what the exact discussion was, but I was listening to a radio broadcast and they were talking about players. It was a discussion about the agents for these college players, which as far as I know hasn't changed since that conversation, which was I heard about like a year or two ago, where the college players or these agents don't have a cap.
Yeah.
Because in the NFL, they're capped at 2%. Like that's a hard cap for agents to how much money they can make. College, they don't have that. And the discussion was talking about how the agents, what they would do, these scummy agents, they would negotiate with a team and say, hey, I can get you this player for X amount of money. And then they would call that without ever having talked to the player. And then they would call the player and be like, hey, I'm talking with so-and-so team, and they're offering you $2 million.
Yeah.
Well, who the hell's going to want to turn it down $2 million?
Yeah.
And then there's no cap, so they're getting like 15 to 20% of that. So my biggest thing with the whole is just they need to get some kind of protection for these players because they are kids, by the way. 17 and 18-year-olds, 19 max kind of thing. And so they got to come up with some kind of collective bargaining stuff. They got to come up with some rules, and it's got to go on the other side too. These transfer stuff has gotten out of control. I think if they're going to pay you millions of dollars to come to that school, you got to do the whole year. You got to do the whole year. That's like minimum.
Or the full four.
Unless you're getting drafted in the first round of the NFL, you play every game, including the bowl games.
And also, I just want to point out real quick with Duke being on that list. My UConn Huskies, we beat Duke, so technically we should be the ACC championship. If this is the way Notre Dame wants to do it, God damn it, we can do it too.
Yeah, so Duke would have been in under this new rule because it's a Power 14. Duke, when they beat Virginia, I believe it was in the ACC championship, Duke would have got in under this rule, but because they didn't, AMU got in.
I'm all for conference winners being in. I think even Group of 5 conference winners should get in.
And it was real fluky, right? It kind of turned into what's funny on this list, by the way. If you look at this list, Miami's not on this list.
Yeah. See, and
Miami would have been out. They would have been out in favor of Notre Dame because of this rule change. That Miami, who made it to the national championship, would not have been in because of Notre Dame's preferential treatment.
I'll tell you how I would fix playoff right away. Expand it to 16 teams, no buys, right? And every game, except to like the semi and the finals, are at home playoff games, right? So if you automatically make your conference championship, right? The two teams that make their conference championship automatically get to go to the playoff.
Really?
But the winner gets to play at home. And I think you include Group of 5 teams and you include all the Power 4 winners. So you get 9 auto bids, and then you get 7 on the bubble bids.
I feel like no matter what you do, there's going to be teams that cry and are going to be out. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kind of no matter what, they're not going to be happy. But in this case, in this particular scenario, Miami missing out, we would have missed out on a great couple games because of Miami being not in here, and we would have had Duke, who probably would have got destroyed. They only have like 5 wins. or 5 losses. That's a lot of losses for a playoff team.
Yeah.
Versus Miami, who, yes, they didn't win the ACC because they weren't in the ACC championship, but Miami missing out because Duke sucks most of their games except for their conference games. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I'd rather have Miami in the Duke and just be the unofficial ACC. I think that's the other thing too, is ACC needs to change their rules. Kind of like I think American has this to where it depends on their rank.
Yeah. like I said, college football, I think when Alabama got in over FSU, when Alabama didn't even play in the SEC championship, it feels like the NCAA really wanted to course correct that. But then Alabama started bitching, and Nick Saban started crying. And so they've just, everything they've done is an overcorrection.
Well, Nick Saban was like, I don't want to deal with the money shit. That's why he left.
Yeah.
But they don't. The thing is, the NCAA is changing the rules every year. They're not letting the rules take time to play out. They're not giving it a few years. To
I feel like,
out.
well, I get that, but I feel like they've been they went in knowing that they were gonna change things around, which they did last year too. You know,
I am not
so
one of these, with a Jeff George Tate, that guy. One of these purists that kind of says it ruins the meaning of college football games that we just allow 3 loss teams in. I think it makes games more important because when you have a late week, late of the season game, and it's like 14 versus 15, that game means a lot now.
mm-hmm.
Versus who's just
the
getting
Big
the
12
better
is
bowl.
so exciting to watch right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like that makes every game important to watch.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Derpy? You said let's talk about the real question: how much the SEC is a bunch of petty whiners.
Yeah,
I mean, I put Notre Dame on the list too. They were so petty that they chose to get out of their bowl game and not play it because they missed the playoffs because they lost to the only 2 worthy teams on their schedule in Texas A&M and Miami. And Miami was the one that inched them out, deservedly so. Which, in case you didn't know, they're playing again next season, but their game is later on in the season. It's not week 2 or 3 or whatever it was. It's like week 8 or 9. So they've learned their lesson on that one. But, okay, let's continue on. We done. So first thing I wanted to cover with that as well was just some of the changes, because there's the biggest changes from the group of 6, which a lot of their best teams, their coaches got taken away. So the group of 6 is kind of wide open for me. But some of the big ones, Kyle Whittingham taking over at Michigan, coming over from Utah. That's a big one for them. Unfortunately for Michigan, their last coach got his hand caught in the cookie jar and got let go. So that's unfortunate. But this is a good pickup for them. I'm not going to go crazy with this list, but if you guys see one, that shout it out. But I'm just going to kind of go through for some of the ones that I'm going to point out.
Coastal Carolina got a good quarterback.
A quarterback?
Or
the head coach?
Ryan Beard? Yeah.
Ryan Beard?
Coach, yeah. I don't know why
Huskies we got a good coach because we lost our coach who turned our program around. But we got the kid from Toledo, Candle, who's a really good talent.
Jason Candle, there you go, right there.
Yeah, his skill is really good at acquiring.
Oh, he was at Toledo. Okay, Toledo. Yeah, Toledo has always had a pretty decent team. I can see that.
Well, Beard took crappy, basically a crappy secondary Missouri school.
Well, Missouri State just came up from the FCS.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. They brought him in. Yeah, he got him in, and they're actually, they actually show up for games.
Yeah. I can see this totally. He's stepping up. That's good.
Yeah. I will say too with UConn, what's interesting for them is because we're trying to get into the ACC or Big 12. Because even though we're a basketball first guys, we are really looking to get into a conference. And if we start doing good this year, we could get into one. And I'm just saying, this program has potential to really grow. The way we're playing, the way we're treating it.
They've definitely done pretty good. You guys made a bowl game the last couple of years.
Yeah, we won one.
Did you guys go like 9-4 one year?
We went
like 2 years ago.
We went 9-4 back-to-back seasons because we won.
Yeah.
We went 9-3 last year. Then we lost our bowl game to Army, but that's after our coach left and all our best players left. But we went 9-4 and beat UNC in the Fenway Wasabi Bowl.
Yeah, it's funny, Derpy. You talk about that. Joe likes to talk about that one. He talks about what's his name, Oberon. Yeah, he was on an interview one time. Joe likes to tell this story where he was saying, like, "Yeah, we used to just pay people under the table. Now we just paid in front," kind of thing.
Right.
So the NAL has definitely changed it. I think it's for the best, but personally, but yeah. The biggest reason I want to show this is because some of the bigger teams in the group of 6, Tulane, new coach. I can't remember who he went to. It'll show here. Memphis, Charlie Huff. He came from Southern Miss. That was a big thing. He was at Marshall, got him to 10 wins, and then they pissed him off, so he went to Southern Miss, and then now he's at Memphis. So he's working his way up the chart. Penn State, after firing James Franklin last year, they now got Matt Campbell from Iowa State. That's a big one.
Won't work. It's
it's Penn State. They got the pedigree. They got the history. They got the pedigree, and then they got a new coach. So I like that one. James Madison, another one. So Billy Napier, he's going from SEC to the Sun Belt.
Yeah, but dude, that's gonna make them scary for going to.
And they're already doing really good. I mean, JMU, that's where Kurt Signetti was. Their other coach just moved up to UCLA. Just got hired to UCLA. So I mean, I guess Napier's like, hey, this is my way to get back to the power. So hey, good for them.
You know what? See, I'll say that's another reason why to include the group of 6 teams into the playoffs, because you give coaches a chance to get better their careers.
Here's another one, Brian Hartline. He's a quarterback, wasn't he? Was he on the Dolphins? Or was he a player? I can't remember what he was. But he was with Ohio State as the offensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach for South Florida. So another coach that got poached over into the power. North Texas, another group of 16, got a new head coach after theirs went. And then, of course, Kentucky's got a new coach. Let's see. Here we go. Bob Chesney. He's the one who came from James Mason. Ole Miss after Lane Kiffin went. Or not? Is it Lane Kiffin?
Oh, yeah, it was Kiffin.
Is it Kiffin? Okay,
yeah, it was Kiffin.
So they just stuck with their defensive coordinator, who was their defensive coordinator throughout the playoffs. So I really like that move. They didn't go outside. They stuck with their guy that did stay. I really like that one.
Wasn't he interim coach too during that run?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was the interim coach during the playoffs.
And they were not far from beating Miami. Like that was really close that game.
No, it was such a great game. Then of course you got Lane Kiffin, and then John Summerall. He was with Tulane.
Everyone's gonna be rooting against LSU this year.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a list of some of the best games that are gonna be up this year, and for some reason LSU and Ole Miss is not on that list, which I think is a crime.
Pull that list up when you get.
It's gonna be next. Yep.
Oh. And by the way, before we get too further, you have a very good memory. Brian Hartline was on the Dolphins.
I knew I recognized the name.
He was a wide receiver, not a quarterback. But
yeah, I couldn't. When I thought about it, I was like, I don't think maybe he wasn't a quarterback, but I knew he was on the team.
Yeah, he also was a coach for Ohio State. I'm never going to call them what they call themselves, because that just annoys me.
You know what, Derby? During my setup this morning, I did forget about. I think I'll have that ready for the next show that we do on September 6th. But yeah, the list of schools that came up from the FCS, North Dakota, and I think there was one more.
North Dakota State doing that surprising, because they'll never win a championship at this level. Maybe they can, but
I mean, they've won so many on the FCS level that
why wouldn't they want to stay there? Like, what are they
more money, man, money. It's more money, even at the top of tier. Maybe not at first, but if they get going here, then it's just one of those things. Yeah, okay. Derpy's hating on a lot of teams right now.
You think about it, you'll get those those Dakota boys who are big guys,
Oh yeah, the corn fed.
Yeah, you get some big boys up there.
Just a good old boys. Alex Golesh from South Florida. Again, we're getting into
that's a good coach hire for Auburn.
And they're coming with Byron Brown, who looks really good.
I'm going to tell you something. Auburn and Florida, I don't know about this year, because even the last couple of years, they always looked like they were on the verge of getting it right. They just didn't have the right guy at the helm. In a couple years, they
had some really heartbreaking losses last year. Auburn, man, so many games they unfortunately choked at the end.
If Auburn has a better guy at the helm, Auburn could be a scary football team in a couple of years.
Here's another one: Arkansas, Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. I mean, the group of 6 just got pilfered like crazy this offseason.
Well, that's what happens. You do well in your small school.
Now, I've only been following college for a couple years now, so I'm still catching up with a lot of the history. But I haven't seen this many in the few years that I have watched. I don't think I've seen this many group of 6 poach. Like these are all the best teams. In the group of 6, the ones that made the playoffs, the ones that got close to the playoffs. The only thing I think the only one that was is like Boise.
Though, this has always happened. where Group of 5 teams never did well, and it's only because now they got a chance to get in the playoff spots that people are trying to go against them because it's just the whiner big schools when their team doesn't make it.
Usually, the coaching carousel was the coach. They either bounced up or came down from the NFL, or they bounced around to the power conferences.
In the case of Stanford, they're getting Washington Commanders quarterback coach. That's
I will say because at least in my opinion, like you look at it like back when we actually had the BCS system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's. I don't think that's going to work out for Colorado State.
I can't hear the name Jim Mora without hearing playoffs in my head.
Right. You know,
I know it's his dad.
I'm gonna miss. Going to be real. College game day is going to suck without Lee this year. I got to tell you, after that last year, it was time for him to go. It's just.
Hey, by the way, if anyone's
sad, but it was time.
If anyone's a Colorado State fan, get ready for not going on 4th and 1 at midfield. that was the big problem with Jim Mora. Dude, they had a great offense last year. They have like one of the best running games in the country, right? 4th and 1 midfield, they would never go for it. Never.
Yeah, old school coaches, man. Oklahoma State getting North Texas again, another group of 6, big group of 6. They got Drew Mestemaker coming along with them. This is the one thing that I hope they bring to the college football game, a video game. Some year is to be able to bring players with you when you go to a different school, because they don't have that right now, and it sucks because you take all that time to recruit them, get a rapport with them, and then you can't bring them with you. Like
I will say though, this year's college football is the best football game in a while.
It's so frustrating, but it's the first game I started, and I'm only playing on Heisman, but it's frustrating as hell.
I had to look it up. I knew he was old, Lee Corso, when he retired.
Mm-hmm.
He was 90.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, man.
He's right. Christmas.
Herb Street was right there. He had to assist him a lot in that final year, man. It was just time. It really was.
Yeah.
I know he's an icon. He's like the John Madden for
college football. Yeah.
You know, so and I get that. Like I said, I'm still new to the whole thing, but it was time. That last year was pretty rough. James Franklin after Penn State. I thought this was a really good pickup by Virginia Tech. They didn't hesitate to grab
I'm going to tell you, that's going to be interesting because he's not going to have the pressure that he had at Penn State. I think that he could – because they're going to be more patient because what have they done in the last 15 years? Penn State's frustration came out because they were always so close to winning. I think that could be a really interesting –
Yeah.
And the ACC is not that – is open for anybody to take it.
And then, so the next thing we'll do is go over some of the bigger games. These are some of the, these are more the power teams. I'll cover the college ones another week, or excuse me, the group of 6 ones another time. But the biggest games that stand out right now, and one is not on this list, I think is a crime. But starting with the SEC, ACC, SMU, and at Louisville. Louisville, I don't know. Well, both of these teams really.
I don't know. That doesn't interest me, that one.
I mean, you got Kenny Jennings coming back for SMU, and then Louisville has always done really well. They just start out slow is their problem. They don't start well, but then they kick it off like throughout the season.
Hold on. See, they're missing over that one. The Louisville's going to play Ole Miss. That could be a good game.
I think these are just conference, the big conference games. These aren't like all the best games. I think these are mainly. I think these are mainly conference games.
Yeah, that's what they look like. They're all conference right there. So
the thing I hate though is that we don't know. Later on, it could be like Duke versus Wake Forest is going to be the big game. You know,
right? Yeah. These are just a preview of what could be the best. I mean, like I don't think this list has like Texas and Ohio State on it, which is obviously the biggest game of week 1. It was last year, but then you got Miami, Clemson. Clemson was 7-6 last year, so I don't know about this one. They don't have Klubnik anymore.
How are they even allowed in the top 25 right now after that last year?
I don't know. And who's not? There's another 7-6 team that missed out. That's not in the top 25, but Clemson is. I can't remember who it was. And then you got Clemson. I think it was Florida State. No, Florida State's in there, I think, as well. And then, of course, Miami and Notre Dame. They do mention that one. Notre Dame, while not necessarily ACC, they do have an ACC slate along with their Service Academy schools that they play every year. But that should be that's a really good game, November 7th. You see, but you notice I mentioned earlier, it's not early in the season. like it was this last time. It's about more than halfway through. So, Big 12, man. Those teams are never like Texas Tech was really good last year, but they're never really. They're kind of like at the bottom of the big Power Four seems like, but their games are so fun to watch. And Arizona, again, another slow start for them, but they really picked up as a year. And of course, BYU, their head coach, I forget his name, but they kept him because he was almost going to Penn State, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "We're going to throw a shit ton of money at you." Oh, I love this place. I'll never leave here. It's like, oh yeah, okay. I wonder why. And of course, TCU, they're still, what are they, like 5-6 years from that playoff run that they had?
Yeah.
But they're usually a pretty decent team. And of course, BYU is mostly on this list. But the one game they don't have on here is Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Texas Tech has a really easy schedule. They don't play Utah. They don't play BYU. They do get Arizona and TCU, but they don't play the other two. I'd say the favorites are probably Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah. Are probably the big three.
Everyone's going to be watching Texas Tech.
I do miss being in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
I got excited, when we first moved to the SEC. I was like, "Oh, great! We're moving up now. We'll get some respect." But let's.
It's tough. It's a tough place.
Yeah.
What school do you root for?
Mizzou.
Missouri. But Texas Tech is going to be interesting. Now they lost Sorsby. They're not going to be able to play him this year. So they got Will Hammond, I believe, is who they have in charge now for the offense. He's pretty good, but he's been injury prone. Has been his big thing. So still a decent. So they should be good. Their defense was awesome last year. It just broke especially in that game against Oregon, as we saw earlier. They just broke against Oregon because they gave up 6 points in the first half, but they scored nothing. Like the defense can only hold on for so long against a great offense like Oregon.
John Madden, the team that scores the most touchdowns wins the game.
Or scores a touchdown. I mean, dang. There was 0 points for the Texas Tech offense. So, I mean, got to do something. Big Ten, we're going to see if Penn State can come back. USC has been, came from the Pac-12, now revived Pac-12. That's another storyline I haven't really gotten into. But Pac-12 is back. In a different form, maybe a lesser form, but it's back. But Penn State, kind of an unknown, right? They got a new coach, exciting new coach coming in, but I would think they're in a bit of a rebuild mode, kind of thing. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, Ohio State and Indiana, right? Those the cream of the crop for the Big Ten.
Wow, is I don't know who's the Indiana's new QB.
It is. I have that. That's Julian. No. I'm sorry, that's Ohio State's. I do have that, I believe. Josh Hoover from TCU. I think it's all the analysts that I've heard so far, it says they feel more better about this quarterback than they did last year with Mendoza around this time.
Yeah, and Mendoza freaking was the man.
You could take that with a grain of salt, but it seems like Josh Hoover coming in like that is, and you get Kirk Cignetti, right? So that defense is still crazy good. The offense, they're still a run offense, and then they got that wide receiver that went off, that white dude, that 6 whatever wide receiver, Decker, I can't remember. He went off in the playoffs, barely did a whole lot during the regular season, but in the playoffs he just went off. He's coming back. So Indiana is definitely going to be good to come back. You got Indiana, Michigan, Oregon, and Ohio State. Oregon has really made a spot for themselves. It's coming from the Pac-12. So and then they got their quarterback coming back for one more year, Dante Moore. Oof, that's going to be crazy. Indiana. A lot of people are hyped about Washington. I don't know too much about them.
They're always sneaky good, though. They're always sneaky good.
Yeah. So we'll see if Washington can take that next step this year. And then we got the SEC.
I think Oregon's going to be a good team. I think Oregon might.
I think they're top 3.
I think they could win it all because they're gonna. They know they've got to win.
This is definitely a national or bust kind of season, especially with Dante Moore being in his last year. Like they have to win it. They have to.
I know Ohio State won a couple years ago, but I still don't trust Ohio State to actually be clutch. A blind squirrel finds a nut.
We'll see. I mean, that defense is still good. They still got the best wide receiver in college football. So I
can't be objective against that team.
All right, SEC, Texas A&M and LSU. LSU, I mean, what are we going to get with LSU with Lane Kiffin? That's probably one of the biggest questions. The defense
Which
was
Lane's
pretty
going to
decent.
show up?
He'll be there. I mean, he was at Ole Miss for 6 years. I mean, it's not like he was there for 2 years and then left, kind of thing. And he turned that program around. So, I mean, I think Ole Miss is better off than he left it, right? In my opinion.
It is.
So, but LSU is the dream job, right? Death Valley.
Yeah.
One of 2 Death Valleys, which I always found kind of weird. But Texas A&M, of course, had that crazy season. They only had one loss, and they didn't make and then one and done in the playoffs. But that defense, man, it was crazy good. But their young quarterback is what really killed him in the end. Too many mistakes at the end, and just not enough in the postseason. He made some great plays, but just couldn't do it. But he'll have another year under his belt. Georgia at Alabama, always a classic. It just always is. They'll probably see each other again in the SEC championship, possibly, if none of the other teams are undefeated. Georgia at Ole Miss, of course, is going to be a big one. Ole Miss after last year, and then Texas at LSU, Texas at Texas A&M.
I saw a thing. I think Georgia is one of the youngest teams in the country this year. I don't have faith in Georgia this year.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on if you believe in Kirby Smart or not.
I just don't trust Georgia State drivers. I mean, Georgia Bulldog drivers.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Gunnar Stockton still there? Is it? Yeah. So I mean, that's a really solid quarterback. That guy can play. I don't know. I'm not sure about Georgia, but the one game on here that I don't know why they left off this list is the most obvious game possible. Has got to be LSU and Ole Miss. How do they not have that on this list?
Where are they playing? Are they playing at LSU or are they playing at Ole Miss?
I'm not sure. I don't want to keep clicking out of here, but if you want to look that up, I can't remember. I think it's at Ole Miss.
Oh my God!
I believe it's at Ole Miss, if I remember correctly.
It is, and it's week 3. That is going to.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Oh, that game's going to be wild.
Next thing I want to show, we're going to wrap up the college here because we got to get into NFL. Just going to have a few more things I wanted to touch on with college. Was just kind of take a look at a little bit how last year ended. We showed the playoffs, but I just wanted to show like some of the group of 6 stuff and how the teams like Virginia had a great year, but they lost in the ACC. If they hadn't won that ACC championship, they would have been in the playoffs. So that's unfortunate. Then SMU is looking to have a good year. Pittsburgh is looking to have a good year. So we'll see how that goes. Big 12, of course, you had the BYU, just missed out of it. Same with Utah. BYU lost in the championship, so that's why they got left out.
Look at Houston turn it around.
Houston,
at their season.
Yeah, I'm really pulling for them. I want to play them in the video game one of these years, but they're cool. You get a Texas team. Texas is all about football. Arizona is one of the sleeper ones. I know Kansas State has their quarterback Avery Johnson, who
and never ever sleep on
Sometimes.
Iowa State. They always tend to make a run every few years.
The biggest thing with them though is their coach went somewhere else, so it's kind of tough. They're kind of an unknown right here.
The Mountaineers, man, West Virginia it's supposed to be getting better.
Yeah, and then you get Oklahoma State, who now has North Texas head coach with their quarterback Mestemacher. I don't know if they're going to. I don't think they're going to go 9 in the conference this year. Maybe at least 2 wins. At least 2 wins.
If Shador doesn't have a winning season this year, you think he's gone?
Shador?
I mean, Sanders, not Shador.
Okay.
Shador.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that one. I think they got a pretty decent. I can't remember who came in. I don't have them on my list, but I think they got a quarterback, a decent one that came in. Of course, Big Ten. Just man, this is a crazy list. Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, USC is going to be going for that. Michigan, you got what's his name, Underwood.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he's got to make plays. It was very underwhelming last year.
How did Iowa score more points than Wisconsin?
Wisconsin wasn't that great. I mean, 81 points. That's kind of bad. That's a pretty bad
overall.
Offense.
Their overall points.
Oh, in the conference, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
What happens in the conference is what matters. If it doesn't matter what your record is with non-conference.
Because historically, Iowa can never score.
Yeah, I remember that a few years ago when they had it was like the head coach's son was their offensive coordinator, and they had to average, I think, 25 points? That's a game, and they couldn't make it. They didn't make it, so he got fired. They had to fire the coach's son from the offensive coordinator. that's kind of funny. Conference USA, I love the small schools. Liberty Flame once again has the worst schedule in the entire FBS. So naturally, they're the favorites to win again because their schedule is so bad. They play no power conference games, so they could easily go undefeated with that schedule. But Jacksonville State, they only came up from the FCS a couple years ago, and they did pretty good.
So did Kennesaw.
And look at Kennesaw. They also just came up, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good for them. Missouri State, yeah, they went to a bowl game.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. Delaware as well went to a bowl game. They had just came up too. So really cool. I like watching these, especially these smaller schools, especially when they come up from the FCS level, actually do well. Like James Madison knocked it out of the park when they first got in there. Of course, you got the only two independents now. UMass is now with the MAC. The MAC action.
Tuesday night.
Yes, Tuesday, Wednesday night. Love watching that.
It's
Toledo
a shame no one goes. It's so sad no one goes to those games because those games are fun.
My first franchise when it came, or dynasty when it came out, was the Buffalo Bulls, and that was a lot of fun. I spent 3 seasons in a row. Luckily, the expectations in that one was patient, which was good because my coach would have been fired. I went 3 straight seasons at 4-8. And then finally made a bowl game in the 4th season. It just went upward from there. Made the playoffs a couple years after that. It wasn't until year 12 that I made the playoffs, but it was a long burn. But they stuck with me, and because of that, the Bulls just got better and better and better. And then I finally took them to another conference, I think.
You know what I like doing when I play NCAA? I don't like focusing on one team. I like playing as a coach who bounces to different schools.
I do most of the time, but that one that was my first dynasty, so I really wanted to draw it out with that one. And what I did was I only could play 3 games, and everything else was sim in the regular season. It's something that I got from one of the YouTubers that I watch, where that's what he does. He only plays 3 regular season games, so you can pick any one, but you can only play 3. So you have to sim. Your team that you built has to sim and win as many. So, like I said, the first 3 seasons, only 4 wins, and 2 or 3 of them were ones that I always won. So that was always a thing. But that was a lot of fun. Of course, Boise State, a lot of these teams have moved over to the Pac-12, but Boise State is, I think they're one of the few that has the same coach, so they have one of the best chances to get to the college playoffs.
By the way, look at New Mexico turning their program around.
Yeah, didn't they win like against a power team, like just crushed them? It was either them or San Diego. I can't remember which one it was.
I think they lost to a FCS team earlier this season too.
Mm. Of course, Pac-12 is back, and then you get the SEC.
So sad.
I'm happy. My Boise State. I'm a Boise State fan, so my Boise's now in the Pac-12. We can represent there. Then you got SEC, of course, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Vanderbilt's gonna be interesting. They just got a 5-star quarterback, I believe it was, and so they got a guy for their future. So they're getting recruits now.
Well, can they keep them though?
Can they keep it up? That's definitely going to be the question.
But they're in the SEC. They have a chance at retaining. Mm-hmm. They have a really good shot because they're in the SEC. And you know what happens is guys want to be part of that. Sometimes you get those guys who want to be part of that turnaround.
And it's crazy how all that started with them beating Alabama. Like that, all the hype for Vanderbilt started. Dude, was it 2 years ago when they beat Alabama? That's just.
I was at a football. I was at a UConn game that night, and I remember we had won on we didn't have a walk-off touchdown, but we made a goal line stand to win the game, kind of thing, right? And ran they fumbled, and we ran the touchdown back just for extra padding. But I remember leaving the stadium, looking at the score. I'm like, Vanderbilt's beating Alabama. I'm like, what is going on with Alabama?
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. And then you got Missouri that has the
tied at Vanderbilt.
Right. You got probably one of the best running backs in college right now. Missouri. Tennessee is looking to bounce back. LSU, of course, looking to bounce back. New head coach. Kentucky, new head coach. Gators, new head coach. Auburn, new head coach. Arkansas, new head coach.
South Carolina, man, they got screwed out of so many games. They got screwed out of that. Was that LSU game this year or was that last year? Was the LSU game? That they got screwed big time.
I don't remember, but who was there? Lenore Sellers did not do well last year. He took a step back from his freshman year, so we'll see how that goes with them. And of course, you got the Sun Belt, which has James Madison. It's pretty much the best of these So I don't think that's going to change. As soon as they came into this conference, they were dominating it, and nothing's changed. So now they got Billy Napier as their head coach.
When I started my college football coaching carousel, I started off with UNL Monroe since they're the worst team, right?
Oh yeah, I've done that.
After like I think my first season, I went like 5-7 or something like that, or 4-8. I forget what I went. Right, second year I went like 7-5 and made it to a bowl game. Lost the bowl game. No, I went 6-6. Lost the bowl game, and then UNC wanted to hire me. So after 2 years, UNC was like, "Yeah, we'll take you, even though you did nothing at UNL Monroe."
All right. So last thing talk about. I just wanted to talk about some of the group of 6 teams that potentially can make the playoffs. This is just my short list, just starting out. You got Boise State, who probably has the most, but their schedule starting out. They got some crazy games on here. Memphis, who's another group of 6 team, but they got a new head coach. They start out at Oregon. The last time they played against Oregon with Genty, they almost got him. But that was their one loss for that one season that that Boise State went to the playoffs.
You know what? I could put Boise upside in that game.
It's possible, but Oregon State just looks so good. I don't know if the Broncos have the defense to stop them, and I don't know if their offense can keep up with them. So that's going to be rough.
Oregon struggled in their preseason last year.
I don't pay attention to preseason. And then Memphis, of course, is another group of 6 teams, so that's going to be huge right off the bat. And then the rest of the team, I think it's winnable. It's gets Pac-12, the new Pac-12 team, San Diego, Oregon State, Colorado State, all the states.
Yeah, they'll destroy South Dakota. They'll destroy Western Michigan.
Now, Fresno State's pretty decent, so that's a good one. I like Texas State.
I will say,
and then San Diego State. That's gonna be rough.
At Kalamazoo may be interesting. I'm just saying that's not an easy place to play sometimes.
Yep. And then of course the decimated Mountain West. I think the best team out of there is UNLV, and they got a pretty tough schedule too. Memphis, North Texas, that's pretty good. California, for power team. North Dakota State. Watch out for North Dakota. Yeah. That's not an easy win.
UNLV needs to look at going to a power conference because they play in the Vegas market. I'm surprised. I'm surprised the Big Ten or the Big 12's not looking to take them because they get to play in that big stadium too.
I would say Big 12 would be more likely than Big 10. I think Big 10 is pretty much full up.
And by the way, they got just for incentive, they have turned their football program around and they have basketball pedigree.
Then of course you got Navy. Navy has done pretty well these last couple of years, but they I don't know. Their team has just gotten better. And they got North Texas again, which they ran. They ran all over them. I think they got like 500 yards of offense in that game. But then, of course, I got Notre Dame, who they can never beat. And, of course, you get with Army. But the Army game doesn't really count in the statistics. It's just there. It's just their natural last game. And, of course, you got the next, 4 schools are all the schools that got new head coaches. So you have no idea. But South Florida Bulls is the American. Tulane. Tulane starts out at Duke. And then,
I think Tulane wins that game.
That's a good one there. Then you got Memphis. Doing UNLV, Boise State, Tulane, South Florida, Navy. So
that closing from go look at that in the schedule for Memphis though. South Florida and Navy. That's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be for the possible championship slot. And then of course from the Sun Belt you got James Madison. I don't think that's gonna be any change. They're gonna handle Liberty. I gotta go to one of these games. I'm in Virginia, so I need to go to one of these JMU Liberty games.
Yeah. For sure, one of these Wagner.
Days. I wanted to go last year, but I just missed it. But
they are playing. They are playing my Huskies. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, they got San Diego State, who did really good last year. So this is. I think they could do. I think they can run the table, go undefeated, and actually get a good shot at that spot. So
I hope they don't go undefeated.
All right, I think it's time. We've done way more college than we've ever done on this show, and that's because Joe's not here. That's this sidewall. That's literally the only reason why we talked about college this long is because Joe's not here. So we need to move on to the actual reason why this show is supposed to be done today, and that's the Hall of Fame. We had the ceremony yesterday. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, and Roger Craig. Thank you. That one, he's a little bit before my time, so that's why I had a little bit of trouble remembering his name. But these guys I know very well since I started watching football religiously back in 2001. So that's about when I started watching football. So some really good moments. I actually didn't watch too much of the actual ceremony. It was really cool seeing who was our guy. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, probably because we're live on a show and I can't think of it. Chris Berman was the one hosting him, which was really cool. I love hearing that guy talk. And so he's the one that announced him coming on the stage. And I watched a little bit of the Larry Fitzgerald one. Heck, dude, like, is really proud of his son. His son is a football player. He's coming up this year, and so mentioned him a lot. And then, of course, I also watched the end of it, which was the Drew Brees, I think was the last one to talk. I watched a little bit of his, and then I watched a bit of the after show which was really cool to watch because it was when they got announced, like when they found out about it, kind of thing, and then when they went to the Super Bowl, because they announced this at the Super Bowl, right? The Hall of Fame picks for that year. And so they were talking about how they like hushed them in before the announcement, kind of thing, and they didn't go on the red carpet like the other players do when they get to the Super Bowl or whatever that is. So that was kind of cool to watch all that. I guess just real quick, John, Drew Brees, what do you remember of him?
He was a great quarterback that kept New Orleans alive.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, this is going to be kind of weird, guys. So I think Joe is here, but he's going to show up under my name because I had to use his stuff. So, hey, Joe.
Hey,
what's
Joe.
going on, man? How you doing? I'm going to fix this camera real quick. Well, actually, it's good. Hang on. I've got it turned around because
just don't show any addresses, okay? Because you're live on air.
No problem, bro. So. This is the garage outside my grandfather's house. Anyway, good to see you guys. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. I was just stepping in to say hi.
Yeah, man.
We just got out of church. Hang on a second. The front camera. There we are.
Hey,
how you guys doing?
Hey, you can tell how old he is, right? It took him a solid minute to actually figure out the camera angle. So
stop it, man.
Boomer over here.
Stop it.
He had to put the tarp back on after being tarp off.
Hey, Disciple of Rock is here. How are you?
He is, yeah. He just joined us. Yeah, it's been great.
Very cool.
Good.
Well, look, I don't want to interrupt too much. I was just checking in. Thank you for running the show, Knock. You know we need to do this Hall of Fame show every year because I you know me, I love talking about the old school guys, and I'm sure John is telling you all about Roger Craig for
I was about to, yeah.
But that's the guy that a lot of you guys may not know. Of course, Disciple of Rock is so young, you probably don't know any of them. But
I know Breeze all too well.
It's a good class, though. It's a solid class. Friggin' Keekly, I always loved. He played in the shadow of Ray Lewis, or more people would know who that guy was. Then who else we have? Vinatieri, who's arguably the MVP of a couple of the first 3 Super Bowls the Patriots won because he kicked the game-winning field goals,
Yeah.
And then you got Fitzgerald. I mean, everybody knows Fitz. I mean, he was just a class act. That's all I can say about that guy. He was just awesome.
Yep.
And he was a talented player. But Roger Craig, I want you to remember that guy because I like to call him the king of the high knee lift because he ran with his knees so high, guys did not want to tackle him because they knew they were going to get a joint right in the head. He was spectacular. And like I was telling Knock earlier today, I think he did get some yardage from scrimmage titles because I don't think he was ever the rushing title. He may have been. I may be talking out of school, but he caught a lot of balls in the flat for Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Roger Craig is the first player to ever do the 1,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving.
And correct me because I'm a youngin' too. That was during 14 games, right?
Yeah, they were playing 14 back then. Yeah, I don't think they had gotten to 16 yet. Might have been 16 games.
Roger Craig was the third support for the great San Francisco runs for Joe Montana.
I thought they were playing 16 at that point.
They might have.
No, they were.
I don't know.
I thought it was in
don't
the
know the
70s
date.
they went to 16.
Yeah, but anyway, look, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have fun talking about it, man. And I am going to get back to hanging out with my family. You guys be sure to tune in tonight. We'll be in Fort Kent, Maine, me and Danny doing the show. So you guys take care. And football is back, baby. Let's enjoy it.
Yes. Indeed.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Be good.
Have a good one, Joe.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
All right. Bye.
All right. Yeah, good. We got him in. He came in right at the perfect time. Good. He didn't know how much we talked about college. That's good. He came right in.
Yeah,
we were talking about college. That's perfect. That's perfect, guys. Don't nobody tell him.
I would love to talk about college all day. I love college football.
Oh yeah. I've thought about doing like an hour show before I get on with these guys, but I'm lazy. But yeah. So getting back to the Hall of Fame. John, I think you were talking about Breeze a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have been on a better team, he probably could have got a lot more titles than he did.
I mean, the offense was fine.
It was their defense.
It was the defense that just, except for that 1 year, that defense was just a sieve.
And if they didn't get screwed by the refs for the Rams.
It's kind of like Burrows and the Bengals right now.
Yeah.
If Burrows had a ranked 15th defense, he'd be winning Super Bowls, or at least getting to the Super Bowl a lot more.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, the same thing.
So that's probably the thing. What about Larry Fitzgerald there, John?
Larry Fitzgerald is probably, he's going to go down as one of the top 10 greatest backs of all time.
Well, he's I think on receiving yards, he's only second to Jerry Rice, something like that.
Oh,
in a bunch of categories, he's only second.
Oh yeah,
records that are just ungodly.
I said back, I meant receiver. I was thinking about Roger Craig still. So
no worries. We'll get to him. But yeah, so that definitely. Oh man, so that guy just didn't matter what he did. I enjoyed him in the playoffs. That playoff run they did, he was insane during that run. I think he had the most catches by a wide receiver in the playoffs. 30 catches, I think it was, something like that.
I'll never forget him having that big run against the Packers in that wild card game.
Yes,
one of the best football games ever.
That was when Warner got out of the pocket.
And for being the guy on the team that you're supposed to cover, he got open a lot.
What was it? He had more tackles than drops in his career. Is that the saying? Or the statistical fact is what if I remember correctly. Something more tackles than drops. That's insane. So that just means the quarterbacks he's worked with, right? So
and he's got great hands. So
yeah, that too. So
really, in the NFL, you don't need speed if you got good hands and good route running ability. That's really more. You need
route running is insanely underrated for sure. All right, what about Luke Kuechly there, John?
I really don't. I mean, I know his career got cut short because of his concussions. But he was under the radar. I mean, like you said, I mean, he was the other guy to Ray Lewis. So, I don't really, he's not somebody I followed. So I'll be honest, I don't have much opinion about it.
He played for the Panthers, right?
He did his whole career.
I remember him in Madden 12. I remember playing with him in Madden.
And then what about Roger Craig? John, what you got?
Roger Craig. When I was younger, my first team was the Steelers. That was back in the 70s. That was, back in the, Steel Curtain days. When I first got into football as a kid. But I started following the 49ers with Joe Montana. And so I was a 49ers fan when they had their good run. And Roger Craig was, everybody talks about Jerry Rice, and yes, Jerry Rice was the man as far as a receiver. But Roger Craig, if it wasn't for Roger Craig's amazing ability to both catch and run, they wouldn't have done as well as they did. And the thing is, it's a crime that it took them that long to get Roger Craig in there from that era of that. And the sad part is, he just gets in, and during his Hall of Fame speech, he announced that he has vascular dementia. And if you don't know what that is, basically he's had so many bangs to the head that his blood flow in his brain isn't like it should be. So that's what's causing the dementia, and it's just going to get steadily worse. So
was he
I
like the
hate to
first like
see it.
modern like back that could catch and run?
Yes, yes, he was the first one to do the 1,000. He was the first player to ever do that, where he caught 1,000. You know, caught 1,000 yards passing, and he ran 1,000 yards in the same season.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was, and that's why I said he was unsung, and it's a crime that it took him so long to get into the Hall of Fame, because he was, like I said, he was the backbone of that team. Montana Rice connection was, they were the ones finishing it, but Roger Craig got him there.
Gotcha. Disciple, I don't know how far back your history goes with football, but what about Drew Brees for you, if anything?
I just always remember him being in talks for MVP and always like, man, could the Saints win this year? Could the Saints win this year? They got Drew Brees. They've got, Alvin Kamara. Well, I know Alvin Kamara came in later, but,
Yeah.
always had
Deuce
a great
McAllister,
offense.
Reggie Bush. They had some pretty good guys back there.
Especially when you had Sean Payton at the helm. Like, you just knew that offense was a scary team, but they could never come through in the postseason, despite how good Drew Brees would be. So that's kind of what I always remember. Just that team that was just close but never there.
Yep. Unfortunately, when they had to let go of Greg Williams, the defense did not ever recover. When they stopped putting up bounties, this kind of was the downhill for that defense.
Yeah.
What about Larry Fitzgerald?
Well, see, he goes a little before my time, but I remember, like I said, him in that wild card game against the Packers, just decimating them. And I just, again, more of a name that you just hear because I didn't watch a ton of football. I was more focused on Green Bay than anything else, but just always him being talked about as one of the best receivers in the league. But maybe not as talked about as others though. Kind of, he was always probably really great, but at least in my area being East Coast, you're hearing more about like other guys than Larry Fitzgerald.
No, I mean he wasn't the big flashy guy, but he was always the most dependable guy.
Yeah,
always. What about Luke Kuechly? You know much about him?
Not that much. I just remember him being really good on Madden 12.
Gotcha.
That's the extent of my knowledge.
No worries. And for me, kind of the same. Most likely, it'll be the same with you. Roger Craig was definitely before my time. Yeah. So unfortunately, don't know too much about him. But no, when I heard that he was with that 49ers crew, I was like, okay, well, I'm sure most of the people on those teams are probably Hall of Fame at this point. You know, I do know the history of those being some really good teams.
Like the big football guys with me will disagree because I'm more into football for the game rather than following players. I like so many positions, even like running backs. Right? It ends up being dime a dozen sometimes. Like you find one, you found them all, kind of thing.
They've definitely become less prevalent, which I think will turn around. Yeah. It just goes in phases, right? I mean, eventually the league will get so pass happy that that's all the defense worries about, and so teams will start running the ball again, and then running backs will become more prevalent again, kind of thing. I think it's just a cycle. I think it'll just turn.
We're already starting to see that shift a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we've already seen some running backs starting to get paid again.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've seen Saquon Barkley, how important they can be. He didn't do so well last year, but the year before that was magical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but look at the Seahawks this year.
That's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about. You said your team is the Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay's my team. I have no expectations anymore.
I'm gonna pull up because I got the Seattle Broncos and Chiefs because that's who represents here. Joe is the Seahawks. So I'll pull up the Green Bay as well. We're gonna go over their schedule just a little bit.
Obviously,
here in a while, but. Yeah. So, but I'll pull up the Green Bay as well, so we have that on standby. But yeah, for me, Drew Brees, that was definitely. I mean, you can't convey how much that guy meant to New Orleans, especially after Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. Like that place was destroyed. And like for some people that was like the only good thing was football at that point. Like it was devastating back then. So, and I actually remember Drew Brees and I remember the game. I could see it in my head right now. I remember the game where he got his arm wrecked by the Denver Broncos. I think that was Ian Gold, maybe. I can't remember exactly which defender did it, but it was he got wrecked on almost inside their own goal line, and then he was out. And I think that's when Rivers started, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was somebody else. But I remember that game that his arm got messed up, and then that was the question, right? Kind of like Peyton Manning with his neck. Is he ever going to be the same? And then just what he did with the Saints was incredible. You just knew he was always the fantasy guy, right? Fantasy football, you got to have Drew Brees.
Oh yeah,
that guy's going to throw forever.
Everybody remembers him for the for his run on the Saints, but he started his career in the Chargers.
Right.
He was a backup to Doug Flutie.
That's right. That's right. I forget how much
is one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's an unsung one of those. He's a journeyman, so I like a lot of the journeyman quarterbacks.
I didn't catch a whole lot of Doug Flutie. Didn't he? I think the last play he did was a punt field goal. Was that him?
Oh yeah.
With the Patriots, I remember that they did. It was the last time they did it. It hadn't been done in what, like, years, but it was I think that's a 2-pointer.
Yep.
Is that even allowed in the game anymore? I can't remember if they took that out in the game. But it was the last time it happened. What was that, like 10, 15 years ago? But yeah, that was pretty funny. And of course, Larry Fitzgerald, man, yeah, that dude was on the Madden cover. Anyone that played Madden knew Larry Fitzgerald. That guy was just so much fun to use. Just the most humble of players ever. He was never. He is not one of those prima donna wide receivers. He was a great blocker. Most selfless player you can get. This is the kind of guy that you want. That's why he was with the Cardinals for so damn long. Kind of thing. Fred Warner knew he had him, and Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden. That pair right there was a pretty good.
I forgot about Anquan Bolden.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. That was a great pairing. I remember both those guys. That was always a great fun to watch. And then, I remember that game too. The one about Green Bay, and then of course that huge fucking the one I was yelling at him to go down in that Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl. He got that slant route and then ran for 80 yards for a touchdown with about 2 minutes to go in the game. I'm like, no, don't run it in. But I mean, any logical person would be like, you take the points, right? And leave it up to your defense. That's their job, is to stop the other team. But man, for me, I was like, dude, don't score. Don't give Ben Roethlisberger any time to go down and get a touchdown. And unfortunately, that's what happened at the end of that one. The pass to Santonio Holmes. So, but that playoff run was insane with Fitz. That game against the Green Bay, as I mentioned earlier, we got that Fred Warner almost sacked, gets out of the pocket and sees Fitz wide open, gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line, and then they give it back to him. They do a shuffle pass to him for him to get it in for a touchdown. That was a crazy good drive. And then Luke Kuechly, man, that guy, he was the quarterback for the Panthers defense for 10 years. That guy was just all over the field. And that was the scary part about the Super Bowl when the Broncos and the Panthers played, was that defense was awesome. That Panthers defense was awesome.
Oh yeah.
The only reason we won is because our defense was awesomer. And got the turnovers that made the difference. I mean, the Panthers got turnovers in that game. They got a pick, I believe, and I think they got a fumble, if I'm not mistaken. The defense was awesome. They only held. Oh, did I lose him? We lost the side for a second. If he comes back in, I'll pull him back in. But I mean, it was that defense. We only scored 6 points, I think. With that, we got the fumble recovery for a touchdown, and I think we got another. Von Miller was eating up Cam Newton that game and got another strip sack, and then we scored while we were on the goal line, kind of thing, and that was it, right? And then we got a 2-point conversion. So, but our offense did it, and that's going into that, we knew that was going to happen because Peyton Manning, his arm was dead at that point. That guy, that guy could barely throw over 10 yards. But he didn't need to. He didn't need to do much. He knew that they knew what kind of defense they had after getting crushed in that Super Bowl against Seattle. And John Elway was like, okay, we need a defense. We went and got, DeMarcus Ware and all that, which was the best decision ever outside of Peyton Manning. But Luke Kuechly was in charge of that defense on the other side. And it was Luke Kuechly versus Peyton Manning at that point.
Well, something about Kuechly, he's the second youngest player in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's like 35. I knew he looked young.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I thought he was in his 40s, but no, he's 35.
He's only 35.
That dude is still young as hell. That's crazy.
Gail Sayers has him by a year.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, and then unfortunately, like I said, Roger Craig, it was before my time, so I unfortunately don't know much about him. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is who is up for the next set. There's a chance of the next set coming up. The first time who will be eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2027. And this list right here it goes in the list in a kind of way of like who is, most likely going to get. It goes into stage of who's most likely going to get it down to doesn't really have a chance but is eligible kind of thing. And they start out with Rob Gronkowski and Adrian Peterson, which I think yes. You got Adrian Peterson, 2,000-yard runner. Even after that was after he tore his ACL. That's the crazy part. And then you got Rob Gronkowski. I mean, I used to have a debate with an old buddy of mine about who was better, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, and I feel like I won that conversation.
I think Aaron Hernandez took himself out of that conversation.
Which is unfortunate, right? Because he was an amazing footballer, but just wasn't enough for him, I guess. I don't know. That's here or there. But Rob Gronkowski, watching him and Brady, he went with them to freaking Tampa, and they won another Super Bowl, which is insane. So it's just he's definitely in. I don't see how you can one of the best. He wasn't even fast. That's the crazy. He's like Kelsey. They're not even fast. They just know how to
get open.
They just get open. And for Gronk, he's just so big. He could body out anybody on any pass, long ass gorilla arms. And the dude you just couldn't stop him at all. And then of course, Adrian Peterson, he was just so good to watch. So fun. 2,000 yards after tearing his ACL was insane. One of my favorite shows during this time was it was about the fantasy football, The League. Did you ever watch that show? That was so good. They actually, in that show, it was about a group of friends that play fantasy football, but they took it to like the max level. They would do all kinds of things to like when they were trying to do the draft order, they would come up with these crazy games or whatever to do it. And you're talking about like two lawyers, right? Two of them are lawyers. One's a defense attorney, one's the other side. And yeah, and welcome back, buddy. So, and in that show, they're so serious about fantasy football that they were making deals with defendants to trade players. They're like, I'll trade you this guy if you give me. I'll give you a deal for your guy to have 1 year sentence, probation, blah blah blah. If you trade me Adrian Peterson or something like that. Like that show was off the hook when it came to fantasy football. But that's how. But one of them drafted Adrian Peterson, and they were calling him crazy. They were calling him crazy because he had just torn his ACL, and then that guy ended up winning the league. At least they wrote him in to win the league because Adrian Peterson ran for 2,000 yards. They used real players in the drafts every season that they did it. So that was really cool. Probable Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, love him or hate him. Love him or hate him. He went to the playoffs a lot, and he won a Super Bowl. So, it's just kind of.
I don't know if he's going to be first ballot, but he's definitely Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's I can see that, right? I think he'll eventually get in. I don't know if he's like first ballot, but yeah, I think it's inevitable. Like him and Eli Manning, they're kind of just inevitable.
Yeah, they'll get there eventually. It's just a matter of when.
Alex Mack, Richard Sherman, and Eric Weddle. Weddle, oh man, that pain in the ass.
I think out of those three, Sherman's going to go.
Sure,
how is Sherman not in as of yesterday, kind of thing?
I don't, well, this is his first. It's
his first year of eligibility.
This list, sorry, you were here. So this particular list is his first year of eligibility in 2027.
Okay.
So, or 2026, whatever you want to say. But this is their first year. So it went from most likely, which was Rob Gronkowski and Adrian Peterson, to probable Ben Roethlisberger. Now we're down to we'll likely have to wait category.
This is why I hate the NFL Hall of Fame compared to like the NFL, any other Hall of Fame, is like they wait so long to put guys who should have been in right away.
Well, there's so many players that deserve to be in. They've only got X amount of spots every year.
What is it now? Like 320 or 370, something like that? Like out of like 10,000, whatever possibilities. And I mean, are you really going to wait on Tom Brady? You tell me Tom Brady isn't
they waited on Bill Belichick.
That's true, and some people are saying boo on that. So
but that was political.
Yeah,
that was not. That's because everybody he's a great coach. Everybody hates Bill Belichick as a person.
Yeah, jealousy of him and his new girlfriend.
I will say though,
what is she, like 26 or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like three times. He's three times her age. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Alex Mack, great offensive lineman. Richard Sherman, he was only good on one side of the football, right, or one side of the field, right? He never went to any other position. He was only on that one, and then especially near the end of his career, it was kind of So
but still, he's
a person, I don't really care for him.
Yeah, that's true. It's like that says he's gonna get his gold jacket eventually.
He will.
If they were gonna pick one of those to be a first ballot, it would be him. But
I would think Alex Mack personally, but offensive linemen don't get the. I don't even know if any offensive linemen get first bid. I don't know.
Usually not. I can't think of any that I know of.
I don't know the history of the Hall of Fame picks, first ballot, so I don't know about that. But Eric Weddle, unfortunately for him, sorry, Disciple, give me 1 second. I keep interrupting you. I apologize. Eric Weddle, that pain in the ass, John. You know him. San Diego, strong safety for San Diego Chargers all them years, and just always he was like a Troy Polamalu of the AFC kind of thing, man. That dude, he was so annoying. He was everywhere on the field. So, definitely knew about him. Unfortunately for him, he was on the Chargers. Which they never won in the playoffs, which was fine with me. But he was always a pain in the ass when we had to play him during the regular season. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the thing I obviously this is just about football, but like what I like about baseball in particular is like baseball we have quantitative like measures for what makes a Hall of Famer versus football. To me, at least, it feels very subjective. To me, at least.
You mentioned baseball. I might have to kick him. We don't talk about baseball here. There's no crying in baseball, anyways.
Yeah, but I'm just making the example.
No, I got you.
The NFL voting, because like guys like Eli Manning, who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, right? But you look at his stats; he doesn't play like a Hall of Famer, but yet he's in that conversation. I think that's where, like, for me, where I just kind of lose interest with the NFL Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm sorry. The MLB Hall of Fame is a complete joke. So that's the fact.
I don't know anything about it.
The fact that it's going to be after he's passed that Pete Rose is going to finally make it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, that's just political, unfortunately.
He was one of the best players in the history of the game.
That's purely a political move.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing about. I mean, there's popularity stuff, and that's they'll do stuff like we'll exclude you for a year or two, and then you can come back in the bidding. Like next year they'll probably put Belichick in there next year, but just like as a slap on the wrist kind of thing.
Yeah. But
to exclude one of the best players of all time for that, it's not like he killed someone.
No. No, he betted on himself to win. He didn't bet on himself to lose. It wasn't like he threw games. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, that's that's in the grand scheme of things, it's an extremely minor thing. He was just confident in himself, and he felt he was gonna win. So, yeah.
But Anyway, sorry. Tangent. That's a sore spot with me. Is not having Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
So compelling cases, but most likely won't get picked. Antonio Brown. I mean,
he's never gonna go. Antonio Brown will
it's,
never go.
He will not go.
I guess if he burned all his bridges on the way out and still is burning bridges, I guess so. But that guy was just amazing. And hey, maybe you could blame CTE. I don't know for his final year and all that stuff that afterwards. But that dude was unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable. So as far as like his gameplay he's absolutely.
Yeah. It's his off the field antics that's going to keep him out.
Cam Newton, I don't know why. Maybe he's broken some records.
I do hate off the field antics keep you out just because OJ's in the Hall of Fame. You know?
Well, he was in the Hall of Fame before he did something.
Yeah.
That's a little different. Cam Newton will get in when they have a hat section.
He had one good year. He had 1 or 2 good years. That was it.
I think at this point, the only thing I'll remember about Cam Newton is, a couple things. One is the business decision, right? Where he chose not to go for the ball in the Super Bowl after it got knocked out of his hand. And then the following, was it like a year or two afterwards, after he'd gone to the Patriots and came back to the Panthers, and they started him in like week 4 or 5, and he gets 1 touchdown and he goes, "I'm back." I'll always remember that. And then they proceed to lose like 5 more games after that.
Yeah,
like, it was hilarious.
It's not like he had his biggest year was his rookie year. He had 4,000 passing yards.
Yeah,
right. He only had like maybe what? 2 really good seasons. His rookie year and then the year he went to the Super Bowl.
And I don't want to, because that guy, like physicality wise, was a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Right. The athleticism was all there. His biggest issue was his windup was too big. He was always trying to go for the big play, and that caught up to him in the Super Bowl because Von Miller didn't give him that time.
Well, I will say
definitely not.
He did open the path for your Josh Allen's and your Lamar Jackson's, though.
I mean, I would argue Michael Vick did that, but
yeah, that's a Vick. It wasn't Cam Newton. It was Michael Vick. Michael Vick is the first. Yeah, the first, basically running back that's a quarterback.
But and the crazy thing with Vick was just, oh my God, I loved watching that guy throw. Because for him, it was the flick of the wrist.
Oh, yeah. He was so strong that...
It's insane.
Yeah.
Flick of the wrist, and that ball's 80 yards down the field. And he was so fast, he could throw it and then catch it himself if he wanted to. If he could throw it up high enough, he could have done it.
Colin Kaepernick's going to whine that he's not in the Hall of Fame, right? That it's racism.
Well, he never had the stat line to do that. He was more of a runner than he was a passer.
He had one. Yeah, but he only had 13 rushing touchdowns his whole career.
The only way Colin Kaepernick's getting in the Hall of Fame is if he buys a ticket.
Yeah.
Disciple.
One good year.
Disciple, we know why you don't like him. Because of what he did to your Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. So I understand your hate of Kaepernick. I understand your hate of him.
Well, he also hurt the NFL with the kneeling bull crap.
Yeah, we talked about that one at the time, but that's it. He lost his chance. He had a chance to do a training camp, and then he decided not to do it, and then try to stage his own stupid little thing. But he just wanted to cry. He didn't actually want to play. He just wanted to cry about it.
If he really wanted to be back in the NFL, he would have been back in the NFL. He wanted to milk that for. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry, John. I just wanted to. I don't want to stick on Kaepernick. Yeah. Gerald McCoy for the Buccaneers. That was crazy. He was crazy good defense. He was up there with like Vince Wilfork, right? When it comes to defensive tackles, they're just so good. And then on the opposite side, facing against them, was Andrew Whitworth, right, the center.
Yeah, Witt's probably gonna be a first ballot if or maybe not. He could. Okay, I'm not saying he's gonna be first ballot next year, but out of that group, if they were gonna have one that's first ballot, it would be him.
And now we're wondering if we're gonna have to wait longer for Aaron Donald.
Yeah, because he might be back.
He might come back, so he might have to wait another 5 years. But he's definitely first ballot.
Yep.
Let's see here. Long shots: Joe Hayden, Ryan Kerrigan from the Redskins, Malcolm Jenkins. I think it was Saints. Brandon Brooks, I'm not familiar with. Dante Hightower, wasn't he a running back? And Le'Veon Bell from the Steelers.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell was awesome with the Steelers, and then when he left, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. But I recently saw, like maybe like a week ago, if that, saw a video with Le'Veon Bell talking about the head coach for the Jets at the time. What's his name? It was awful. Adam Gase.
Yeah.
He was a former Broncos defensive coordinator. Then he got the head coach job for he got multiple head coach jobs somehow, and just not a good head coach. And he was
failing
talking
upwards.
about right, exactly, failing upwards. He was just talking about I forget, like doing a run play on 3rd and 18 or something like that, and the defense would never suspect it. Or it was something like that, or passing on 3rd and doing a screen, or it was something crazy. The Le'Veon Bell's like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, basically, it's like, this is why we're losing games. He's just not a very good offense. Well, he's a defensive coordinator too, so it's like, why even mention anything about offense? But Ryan Kerrigan, I remember him with the Commanders. He was definitely really good, or I guess the Redskins, I should say. But Joe Hayden, was he the Browns? I'm trying to think of the name, Joe Hayden.
Joe Hayden, your mama.
Let's see. Hightower. I'm trying to think.
He played quarterback for the Browns and Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah, Hightower was. I'm pretty sure Hightower was a wide receiver.
I thought he was a running back. Maybe that's a different Hightower. I don't know, but and then of course they have their predictions, which I thought was some of these.
He
for
played
sure.
linebacker, Hightower.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Oh yeah, he was okay. Yeah, that's okay. Not who. Yeah, that's
who did he play
is.
for?
Okay,
the Patriots.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
3-time Super Bowl.
That's
champion,
right. That's right.
2-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Okay, now that makes sense. So on this list, the last thing they show on this list is the Hall of Fame induct prediction, which is Adrian Peterson, Rob Gronkowski, Frank Gore, Terrell Suggs, Ben Roethlisberger, and Bill Belichick.
Yeah, because they have like the people that are just eligible, and they've got like 2 slots that have to go to people that have been eligible for a while.
Adrian Peterson.
Is that a rule? I haven't paid attention to the rules of what they have to pick.
It's something like that. They've got like X amount of spots that are reserved for legacy. I think what they call the legacy players.
Gotcha.
The players that have been eligible but haven't been in. You got like so many years of being a prime eligibility, then you've got the legacy players.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm guessing Frank Gore falls in that category.
Yeah, he's a legacy. I'm pretty sure.
I will say, when Adrian Peterson comes in, they should give him like a belt.
or a stick.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, Frank Gore was just so fun to watch. Dude, he was Mr. 1000 for me.
Oh man, he was like a must pick for fantasy football.
I 100%, and he was always in the low rounds. He was always there.
I was like,
dude, I'll take him. He's good for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns every game.
Yeah.
Like, I never understood it. That he just never got the spotlight. But I always picked him up, and he always did good for me. So
that's because he was a workhorse. He wasn't a flashy player.
But he got them 100 yards a game.
Oh yeah.
It's just he grinded. He was a grinder.
He ground him out.
Terrell Suggs.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that dude. That Ravens defense, right?
Oh yeah, that was,
I was always when my Broncos were not doing so well, or they would get kicked out of the playoffs by Peyton Manning's Colts. The Ravens were always my backup team. The Ravens and the Eagles, because I really liked the Eagles head coach at the time.
I always found that ironic that Peyton Manning kicks out the Bills or the Denver Broncos every year, and then he goes to the Broncos.
Right. Yeah. I remember all the losses we have when every time we did make the playoffs, except for the one year with Jake Plummer, where we lost to the Steelers. Yep, Jake the Snake. That was a great year. 13-3, I think we went that year. But we lost to the Steelers, to Big Ben, That stupid Steelers team. They crushed us. But I was always a Ravens fan because the Ravens were always the ones that would beat the Patriots in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whenever they played the Patriots, they would just whoop on them. It was weird. The Patriots would always beat the Colts, but the Ravens would always beat the Patriots, and then that was it. They would never beat anyone else, except for the 1 year. So,
and then there's the Patriots always losing to the Giants.
Right, exactly. And then of course Big Ben. Like we mentioned it earlier, love him or hate him. He had his time with the Steelers. Went 15-1 his rookie year.
Yeah,
and he was such a big guy that no one could sack him. He just struck him off.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Bill Belichick. I mean, come on. How's
like I said, he got the slap on the wrist last year. He'll get in this year. He got slipping wrist for this year, and he'll get in next year.
Gotcha. And then, so let's real quick. I want to discuss because we did actually have a game.
Yeah.
And it was actually a pretty good one.
It should have been because it was Carson Beck playing for the Cardinals. It should have been Raiders Cardinals, so we could have had the rematch of the national championship quarterbacks.
I messed up here and canceled out of it. But it was actually a decent game. Not at first. Of course, when I was watching it live, it wasn't that great. I had to wait because it started so late, man. Originally, when you look at the app, like the sports app that I use, it said 7 o'clock. But the game wasn't actually scheduled until 8 o'clock. But then, of course, they do all the pregame bullshit that I hate on every freaking primetime game. So it really didn't start until like 8:20 or 8:30. So by that time, I'm going to bed. So I really only got to see the crappy couple first drives that it was like 3 and out.
It wasn't good.
But I woke up in the morning, and what I usually do, because I watch it on YouTube TV, it stays where I stop watching. And then as soon as I wake up, I don't look at any scores. I don't look at anything. I literally my eyes are still blurry, so I can't see any of the headlines, right, or any text or headlines on my phone. I scroll up the screen, and I put on the game, and it starts right exactly where I fell asleep or went to sleep.
Well, I can tell you this. There's absolutely no danger of Kenny Pickett being a starter.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That was pretty bad. So, in this one we had a showing of Carson Beck. I think played pretty much the whole game. I don't know. Did he play in the last quarter? I can't remember. I think someone else came in the last quarter.
Yeah, they brought in one of the other rookies.
But Carson Beck, 15 for 19, and what that dude was balling out.
It was King's a story though.
No, and he had a bit of a slow start for Haynes King at first, but then fourth quarter, that guy was slinging it and running it, which is what he did at Georgia Tech. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Just sucks he's going to be sitting behind the midget at quarterbacks for Carolina.
Yeah, Bryce Young from Alabama.
Had to bounce back. They had a good season, though, last year.
They made the playoffs. The Panthers did make the playoffs. They had and they beat some good teams. I think they were close with the Eagles.
Yeah,
I think they were close with the Chiefs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
they did beat some pretty decent teams too, and then they made the playoffs.
I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him though.
Bryce Young may be short, but we all know who the midget is.
Well, the thing with him is he just didn't have a lot of weapons. They didn't have a good team, and they just lost.
Bryce Young can at least see over the line.
I mean, but Haynes King, I really liked him at Georgia Tech. He was fun to watch there. They almost beat Georgia. He almost beat Georgia. Oh yeah, so close. And then Carson Beck, of course, his run. He was with Georgia, and then for his last year, he went to Miami. Got paid a lot of money to go to Miami, and was a drive away from the
championship.
Championship, And then that, unfortunately for him, his thing has always been that pick at the end of the game, kind of a Phillip Rivers bit vibe college, where great game and then has that one pick. Yep, shoot himself in the foot. Which is what happened in that. But I was waiting for that in this game too, but it didn't happen. He was perfect in this game, almost perfect in this game. He did throw almost a medicine ball, but that wide receiver caught it though. It was a huge throw, but that wide receiver caught it, took the hit. And then of course you see Haynes King, like John was saying, that last that's the game winner right there. Time was winding down. He got that last touchdown right before the end of the game. That was a fun drive to watch, and a fun end of the game. I think people were saying it was funny, the memes on here. This game was more exciting to watch than the Seahawks and Patriots game, Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it was a fun game. After those first couple drives, it actually turned into a very entertaining game. So,
which is rare for the freaking Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. If you want a game that, like, especially, it was unfortunate I had to go to bed, but this is what I saw. Right, that's all I saw was that first quarter. Like about halfway through the first quarter, I had to go because I got to get up early for work. So that's what I do. I go to bed and then I wake up very early the next morning, and then I watch while I'm doing my morning stuff. So I got to do that. So I saw the rest of it after, and it was very, very entertaining game for all. I don't think we can expect this throughout all the preseason, but this was definitely a good start.
No.
Yeah. Before we let's see, I did want to do a bit of a review.
Well, before we do that, do we want to get the rule changes real quick? They're short. There's not much.
I want to do that after we talk about last year, because I want to go into this year coming up. So and then the changes. So just kind of like what I did with college, just do a bit of a recap. It won't take too long either. Just some of the the leaders and some of the staff. Matthew Stafford, of course. We'll see what happens. They got one of the things we'll talk about with the upcoming changes in the teams is they just picked up a really good defensive player. So we'll talk about that. Of course, Drake May is not so well in the playoffs, but he'll be it's another year. Right?
I'm not confident. I do not think he's going to do good this year. I think he's a fluke quarterback.
Well, the thing is with him. Here's what I'll say for him, right? He doesn't need to. He's got his running back staple is fucking awesome. Stevenson and Henderson, those running backs
it's
are
like,
amazing.
Run the ball. Nope.
Yeah, and then you got the defense with the Patriots. That's their thing, right? It's the defense. So I think he doesn't need to be Superman.
No.
He needs to be Tom Brady in the early 2000s, right? Yeah. Don't hurt your team. Just do the manager bit, do the dink and dunks, let your running backs do the play, and let your defense get the turnovers to get you short fields.
Yeah,
and I think he's going to do after that performance in the Super Bowl. I think he's going to be coached to do exactly that.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And that's pretty much what happened during the playoffs too, because the defense he went up against, or like even in the Broncos game, he was getting beat up in that game too. Our offense was just working with a backup quarterback. That's what got us. And he made that one big mistake, and then it started snowing, and we couldn't kick a field goal. So that's what hurt us, So, but he didn't have to do a lot in that game, right? Because the defense was making plays, and the offense was doing just enough to get within field goal range, and then their kicker actually made them, and ours didn't. So also, he doesn't have to do everything.
Put the asterisk by Dak Prescott, because most of those yards came when it meant nothing.
Right? Yeah. This was another one of those Joe Burrow and Drew Brees with the Saints. Great offense, but that's because they're always playing from behind because their defense was trash. Just awful defense.
All his yards came in garbage time. So
pretty much. And then Sam Darnold was, I don't know, maybe this was. We obviously can't say 1 year wonder, right? Yet until he has a couple more years. But if he sucked from now on, this would be the definition of 1 year wonder, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
because he was great.
You can't insult him with it though, because he won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl. Hey, if Joe is still gonna call Indiana a basketball school, I'm gonna call Sam Darnold 1 year wonder until he wins another one. Okay.
Yeah.
But I was gonna. Here's my thing though. Look where he started off as. He was a joke, seeing the whole I'm seeing ghost, and now he's won a Super Bowl.
Hey Connie, how you doing? Joe is not here today. He was on a little bit earlier. Just to say hi, but he's currently in Maine with his family, so he's not gonna be. He'll be here tonight, as you see on the ticker. He'll be doing his night show with his brother back at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then he's back full time starting Tuesday. He'll be started with his stuff. So,
and I will say, look at this list. Rams are gonna be a scary team this year because Darnold's coming back. Darnold's coming back. Like,
Aaron Donald?
Aaron Donald, yeah. Aaron Donald's coming back. Stafford's going to be great, and they got Myles Garrett. It's going to be I'm calling it now. It's too early, but Bills Rams Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now.
I don't know about Bills. I think my Broncos may have something to say with that, but
Bills are never going to the Super Bowl as long as Josh Allen's their quarterback.
You hear the hater. You hear the hater. Oh man,
have I been wrong?
No, you haven't.
Have I been wrong about Josh Allen? No.
He unfortunately cannot get past the AFC West.
Nope. And he can't get out of his own way in the playoffs.
Oh man, James Cook, running back. Derrick Henry kind of wasn't as crazy last year, but he still had 1,500 yards. Nothing. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So I like
Henry sad, man. 1,600 yards leads the league. That's just sad.
Yeah, it wasn't a great running year.
Then B.J. Robinson, I think he just got paid again.
Bijan got paid. Yeah.
Devon Achane, I don't know if he's gotten paid, but if he hasn't, he's about to get paid. That dude's just fast.
Yeah.
Defensive later, Jordan Brooks, Jack Campbell, Devin White,
Bobby
Wagner. Bobby Wagner. Doing it.
57-year-old Bobby Wagner.
He's going to keep doing it. Of course, we talked about Myles Garrett. He just went. He just got picked up. It's funny. It still says Cleveland on it. Well, that's was last year, so that's why it still shows Cleveland. And then Brian Burns. Giants are going to be intriguing to watch this year. They get Neighbors back, right? They get Scadaboo back. They get they got their quarterback of the future there. I think they picked up another receiver, and their defense is pretty
Harbaugh.
Good. And they got Mr. Harbaugh from the Ravens.
Think the Giants are
the actual good Harbaugh.
The good Harbaugh. Okay.
The Giants could be a 10-win team.
We could see.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to go. I mean, the Commanders took a step back after they went to the championship the year before, so they're kind of an unknown. And then you got Dallas, who I haven't seen anything that tells me their defense is going to be any different. So they'll probably still, fast start and then just crash early, kind of thing. And then the Eagles, that's kind of their main competition, right? The Eagles are still kind of the class of that division. So, I think they still are. As long as they have Jalen Hurts, man, and they got Saquon Barkley, and they got that defense. I think they're still decent. They still got Devontae Smith.
They're still going to be in the conversation, but I
don't know if they'll be as dominant. I'll give that.
I think Jalen Hurts he's on the backside of his career at this point.
Nah, I think he's just going to get older and wiser. That's what you got to do when you're running quarterback. You just got to get older and wiser.
Jalen Hurts is doing the Lamar Jackson thing. He has a crazy MVP season, then he follows it up with a downer, and then he has a great season again. Lamar Jackson's done the same thing every other year.
Unlike Lamar Jackson, one of them has won a Super Bowl. So, Lamar Jackson has never finished a season.
Who are the Eagles really going to have? The Cowboys aren't going to win the division. Commanders won't win the division. Maybe the Giants, but I think the Giants are just going to be more like
the Giants are just young. I don't know if they'll be ready this year, but they can surprise people. I think
if you're a Giants fan, this is like a fun year because you're playing with house money.
Pretty much.
I agree.
Even if you win 5 games, but there's a lot of potential in those losses, you'll still be happy.
Yeah, and then of course you got the sack leaders.
I've been big on Cam Scadaboo since his college days. So
the Arizona State, that was a good year for them for sure. Myles Garrett, Brian Burns, Danielle Hunter, Aiden Hutchinson after coming back from that injury, and Nick Bonito, who just got hurt in training camps, unfortunately. So hopefully it's not serious, but
hopefully it's not like freaking.
He started out really fast.
What's his face from? They've started their suck already.
Yeah. Of course, the receiving leaders, Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think he just got paid or extension, I think.
Oh, yeah, he
Puka
did.
Still allowed to play in the league, or have they said he can't play?
I haven't heard anything about him not being able to play.
Because they think he's an anti-Semite.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to. That's water under the bridge. I mean, they've already forgotten about that.
Yeah. You know what he does? He catches the ball and wins games. So
so that does a lot to get rid of.
If he was a bad player, then he would just disappear.
Canceled. Yeah,
right. He would just. He's a good player. That doesn't matter. George Pickens did really good for Dallas. I think
he got
kept
paid.
Him around.
Yeah, he got paid.
Jamar Chase, of course, with Cincinnati. He'll go as far as Burrows stays on the field, right? Even without Burrows on the field, he still did really good, but he would be at the top of the list if Burrows stayed healthy, which that offensive line will never do. Of course, Amon St. Brown. Interceptions, Chicago is always. There's always going to be Chicago on this list, right?
That's their bread and butter.
But then Carolina, of course, Jason Horn or J.C.
Yep.
Horn, Devin Lloyd from Jacksonville, Ernest Jones from Seattle, Antonio Johnson from Jack. Jack's got 2 guys on here. That defense is pretty solid.
Yeah, it is.
And then last thing I just wanted to talk about for last year, and then we'll go over to the rule changes, John.
Okay.
Just a little preview, just like we did with college. Just what happened, kind of like at the end of last year with the Rams Panthers game. Panthers. Look at that, 34-31. They made it a really good game. I think they had to rely on Puka on that last drive to get them over. Right? It was something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then, of course, the Bears over the Packers. That's always huge. That's their Super Bowl, right? For the Bears.
Yeah.
Whenever they beat the Packers, especially in the playoffs. That was a great 25 points in the fourth quarter.
Please, let's move on to that one.
Sorry, buddy. I got to talk about it. Bills over the Jaguars. That's a crazy game right there.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, and of course, Josh Allen gets that win. The 49ers over the Eagles. I mean, the 49ers are a weird team, right?
Yeah.
Always the most hurt team ever. But this year they managed to get over it and at least get a good amount of wins and then they took out the Eagles, who kind of fell off at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
It just kind of slowed down. And then, of course, the Chargers, I'm never going to be mad about this. The Patriots defense just gobbled up the Chargers offense and sent them packing. So I didn't mind that. Then the Texans destroyed the Steelers. Steelers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers will get another year of this. This is where it's going to end up again next year.
I'm shocked that Aaron Rodgers came back for more punishment.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Somebody's going to Kurt Warner his ass this year.
And then we got the division round. This was the most exciting and heartbreaking half hour of my life. Where
Bo Nix, he kicks ass. Oh crap! Bo Nix is out for the rest of the year.
In the drive that should have never happened because the refs are full of shit.
Yep.
They should have had a safety to end the game in overtime, and instead the refs didn't call it, and so they went down and scored, or they got out of the end zone and kind of thing, but then the one that they still bitch about is the interception from the non-catch that occurred to get us the ball, and then of course on the drive to get down the field earlier in the game, Bo Nix got tackled and broke a bone in his foot. So for a half hour, this was the most exciting thing since we got the Super Bowl, and we were on our way. We were going to face trying to see who we were going to face in the Texans or Patriots, and it comes right after the game that he's hurt, and we're going to have to put in a backup in 1 week. Just
it was
devastating.
I felt bad for you, really.
And I got to tell you, and we're going to talk about it when we get to the Super Bowl, but I don't know if we would have beaten the Seahawks in that defense, but we would have made it a hell of a lot more exciting game.
Yeah, it would have been. I agree.
Because our defense is pretty damn good too.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of hard to tell, right? Because you're going against an MVP guy with, and they put up. He did his thing, but he also did his thing, especially before the half when he tried to run it and he fumbled it, and our guys got it, and we got an extra score before the half. Yeah. So, that's just what you're going to get with Josh Allen. You're going to get the big games, you're going to get the big mess ups too. So, but we went toe to toe with them and got it, and then unfortunately we'll discuss it here in a second. But what happened in the next game? But Seahawks, I mean, that defense was unbelievable.
That game was a bit of a surprise to people, it being a blowout like that.
Yeah,
I remember that being shocking.
It was pretty bad, and it's so funny because this guy Rashid Shaheed, they almost let him go.
Yeah,
they almost let him go after this off season, and then they re-signed him, but they let Kenneth Walker go, which I found very surprising. I'm not sure why
we're very glad he did.
You're right. Yeah.
No,
you know what? But running backs, they're a dime a dozen.
But this guy was huge in the playoffs for them, and then Seahawks aren't very lucky with the running back since Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem with the 49ers in that game, they ran out of people. They were just too hurt.
Yeah, they were just too beat up by that point, for sure. And then, of course, you got the Patriots with the Texans, and again, the defense was really what it was. Stroud throwing, just take him out of the damn game. Come on. take him out of the game. I could not believe it that he, after his third touchdown or interception, they didn't take him out of the damn game.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. The Texans were in this game the entire time, but they just stuck with Stroud, and it bit them. And it's just unfortunate. Who's their backup? What's his name? Who actually did pretty decent for him when he came in for the Texans. I forget his name. But that's a shame. And of course, you got the Rams and the Bears. This is a really good game, 20-17. Yeah. Caleb Williams tried. He did what he could and scored right before the end of the game to force overtime. But unfortunately, they couldn't do anything in overtime.
I love that.
So that was that. And then, of course, you got the conference game, and it's just Sean Payton not taking the points. He's trying to prove he's young again. So he was chasing. He was trying to get touchdowns instead of field goals. But then by the time it got to the second half and it started snowing, our kicker never stood a chance and just missed. It should have been 13-10, really, if it hadn't snowed. But we had our backup quarterback in there. Nix would have blew this game out of the water. I think we would have destroyed the Patriots, and at least enough before the halftime, before the snow started, to have had basically what the Patriots did. Patriots did nothing on offense.
And if that snow's coming, you just take the points.
Yeah. So it should have at least been tied at halftime, or at least 10-7 at halftime. And then what really got him was that big fumble, unfortunately, by Stidham. Which put him right almost on the goal line, or at least inside the 10. And that's what really killed it. It was literally that one turnover. That was it. That was the only difference in the game, really, because neither side really did anything. Stidham came out at first on that first drive. It did really good, but after that, it was nothing. And then they didn't take the points when they were in field goal range in the first half. So, and then missed multiple kicks in the second half after it started snowing and getting really difficult.
3 that you guys missed?
Something like that. Yeah, it was bad. And then, of course, you got the Seahawks and Rams, which is these days is always a classic. Those guys are insane. And then, of course, I'm not even going to talk about the Pro Bowl. No one cares about that. And then, of course, you had the Super Bowl. Not too much to talk about here. Seattle's defense is just too good. Like I said, to this day, I'm not going to say, that they had a chance. Martin, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, that's right. There was no touchdown scored to the fourth quarter. I forgot about that.
Yeah, this was, but the Patriots' offense was looking. At least the Seahawks were driving the ball down the field, but the Patriots going to do nothing. Like I said, I don't know. Those 13 points are garbage time, right, for the most part. Yeah. And I don't know if the Broncos would have won this game because, like I said, that Seattle defense was awesome. Darnold didn't have to score a lot of points because there wasn't anything threatening him. So he didn't have to do anything crazy. It was just not turn it over. He did pretty much what Peyton Manning did, right? Against the Panthers. Don't do much, just don't lose the game. And let the defense take care of the rest. So at the very least, I think the Broncos would have gotten 21 points, 25 points, 24 points, something. Would have been a much better game, but that's what is it that a butterfly beats its wing and it causes a wave of million. The Bo Nix butterfly effect. Bo Nix breaks a bone and changes the course of history. So it's going to take me a while to get over that, but that's what happened. So we didn't get the greatest Super Bowl. The Super Bowl 60, a big number, and it wasn't really that great of a Super Bowl.
I can't wait for Super Bowl 69.
Jeez. All right. So give me 1 second here, folks. We're going to cut over real quick to what John has.
Yeah.
We're going to start about we got to talk about the new year. I don't think we're going to be able to keep this under 2 hours. I didn't even think we were going to make 2 hours. So we actually covered a lot. I'm going to keep going if you guys are okay with it, at least for another half hour or so.
That's fine. There's not much to the rules. They didn't make a lot of rules changes this year. Biggest things we need to know is they redid the onside kick again.
Again?
Yeah. Just take the XFL rule format.
On the fourth and
wait. You mean where they start on either end of the 20 and they run to the center of the field? That XFL?
No.
You're talking about the new XFL. Sorry. I was thinking about Vince McMahon's XFL.
Yeah.
Where it's 4th and 20.
No, I've been pushing. John can tell you, I've been pushing for that for years. Obviously, I have no push. I can't push against anything. But I've been asking for that forever. I love that, and I think it should be 4th and 15 rather than 4th and 12. But
but here's the thing, though, right? it actually makes more strategy to the onside kick because if you're confident, you can go for it early in the game too. Like it would make it so much more
so in
interesting.
the XFL, the rule in the XFL is it can only be done in the fourth quarter, which I think is correct.
I would let it be strategy because that's such a gamble.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that's the new rule. They can do it anytime, and they don't have to be trailing. So you just can you can just do it anytime you want. Onside kick. There's no longer the strategic advantage of kicking if you're at the if you're kicking off from the 50-yard line.
That was a big thing. That was a big thing. Just purposely kicking out of bounds because it didn't really matter.
You can't do that anymore. And they've changed how the positioning of the setup zone, for the spacing and stuff for the players. The other big rule, is that they've changed the ejections, how the disqualifications, how they work. Actually, now the NFL can interject into. They're allowed to consult with the on-field referees before an ejection.
I don't know why this was an area thing.
I
think they're just so behind.
So basically, if they've done something egregious and the referees aren't ejecting them when they should, the NFL can step in and go no. Or if it's a minor inflection and if there's a bad call involved, the NFL can step in and stop it. So that's everything else.
Sounds good in theory, but will it actually?
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, the other rule that needs to be changed too is targeting.
Well, technically, that's against the rules. Technically,
I know you can't hit a guy helmet to helmet, and that's fine. But it becomes so ticky-tacky when the running back puts his head down and the defender was going down to hit his chest and their helmets hit. Like, that's why I hate targeting as a rule, because it can get so ticky-tacky.
I've always felt like NFL is a little bit more forgiving on that one than college. College, way overcorrected it.
Yeah.
And it was, which they've actually reversed at this point now. They actually updated it to where it could be reviewed for a targeting if they don't believe, or it can be reversed if they don't believe it's targeting.
It's a good rule, but it needs just to be a little executed better. The other thing that NFL should do, actually even all college should do this, but the ACC does, when they do the review, you can actually hear them talking to the video crew.
Yes.
That needs to be a thing across the board. None of this.
And they do it on purpose.
I don't need to hear Gene Steratore, the ventriloquist puppet lookalike, blab for 5 minutes and hear Tony Romo and...
you won't be hearing Tony Romo anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna last. I don't think this is gonna last.
Oh gosh, who's the one for Fox? Played for the Panthers, tight end. Greg Olson sucks as a commentator, right? I don't have to hear them huffing and puffing. Like I'd rather hear the video crew.
Yeah,
because then we actually get to know what goes into their thought process, and then we don't have to be screaming on Monday morning.
Well, if they did it, it would be Gene Steratore in the booth discussing it and deciding it. So if they go that route, you would be hearing them.
They should go that route.
The rest of the rule changes is a lot of it's just like the league can now adjust what date the cutoff is for the final roster cut down. They've changed how long a player can return from the PUP list, when he can actually start to practice again. But some of the most important ones is they've eliminated the Monday night doubleheaders.
Nice.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Those were awful.
The Friday night games do not count against the team's limit on short week games. And they've mandated mental health providers for all teams.
Yes.
I feel like I'm sure a lot of them were doing that anyways, but
I will tell you though, eventually we're gonna get a football game every night of the week, right? Like that's coming.
And every single one is going to be on a different network.
Yep. And I guarantee you're going to get a 20-game season really soon.
Well, I mean, they got to get to 18 first before they do.
But you know it's coming. You know in 10 years we'll be playing 20 games a year.
I mean,
yeah.
Especially within, I don't know if we'll get 20 games. We're definitely going to go 18. I think they'll expand it and do another bye week before they do that, so the season will be longer. I don't know if it's going to be quite. It's going to be at least another decade. Yeah, I'm sure we can get to 20 eventually, right? That in 50 years,
Well,
I'm sure it can get there.
Before they add another week, we're going to get some expansion teams.
You think so? I've never been into that, man. Or not? Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I've never been a part of that. Right? The Texans are the new team, but I came into the NFL after the Texans were created. Right?
Are they
were like
2000s expansion?
Oh yeah, they have been for a while. St. Louis is supposed to get a team again.
Oh, really? That's right. Don't they? Isn't there a deal if they do expand? St. Louis gets first dibs.
Yeah, because of what freaking that asshole that owns the Rams did to St. Louis.
San Diego needs to get one again.
You know, the only reason I don't want the St. Louis to get it is because I like their XFL team, which always has like 30,000 people at it, and it's the only place that has like an actual crowd for their XFL team. So
that's why they're going to get an NFL, because people want.
Yeah, they want football. They like football for sure. There,
I could see Louisville, Kentucky being a nominee.
And we're going to get our first overseas.
That's definitely going to happen at some point. Ugh.
A London team, though, right?
London team.
London. Well, and actually, London's probably going to happen because of the move. Because Khan still wants to move his team over there.
The Jags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that official though? That's going to happen.
I don't know.
It's not official, no, but that's what he wants. He wants to move. He owns the team. He wants to move it over there. But
the Jaguars are. But the Jaguars, when they play good, their fans show up.
Yeah, but when they don't, they don't. See, that's the thing.
Fans.
That's the thing about an NFL team has to have their fans show up even when they're bad. That's why Kansas City's not leaving the area. They're just moving across the line because they got a better deal for a stadium.
Well, the Bears are playing in a different state. That's just terrible.
That's the Bear. That was all the political, the higher ups. That's what happened there. But
I wonder if they're going to reverse that. That's got to end up getting reversed. There's no way they're going to let the Bears go to Indiana.
All right, so I think we've done a good job with leading into the season. So we talked about the rule change. The next thing I wanted to talk about is some of the biggest acquisitions on this list.
There was quite a
few. I think the biggest one to start out with has got to be Myles Garrett to the Rams.
Oh yeah,
right.
We're screwed.
Especially, come on, Garrett on a team that can actually win games is that's insane.
And with Aaron Donald coming back,
I don't know if that's been he's at the training camp, but I don't think he's officially signed yet. So
I don't know if he's coming back or not. And the thing is,
I hope he does.
He's been out for a while. Is he still going to be as effective as he was?
Dude, he looks jacked though. He looks.
You can look jacked, but that doesn't mean you still have the speed.
Ready.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you're gonna have Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald. Like Aaron Donald could still be effective.
I could totally see a Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware thing going on there.
I could. I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
No.
I'm saying is he
right?
football ready? Yeah.
But the good thing is with Aaron Donald, he doesn't need to be Aaron Donald of the past.
No, he just needs to be. He just needs to balance out Myles Garrett to give them two things to worry about.
Exactly.
So
who else is on that line though for the Rams?
Was it a question?
Yeah, who else is on the line?
Well, they got rid of the guy that was his name, Verse. I think they traded him to get Garrett. So, and I know Joe really liked that guy. He always mentioned him every week when anytime we talk about the Rams. He definitely liked him. So, I'm not really sure who else they have there. I'm not as familiar with the Rams outside of those big players, but it was a pretty good line. So we'll see what happens. AJ Brown, of course, this is the story that that got that one reporter fired
Yep.
We kind of already knew this was going to happen.
And by the way, as a Packers fan, they got Romeo Doubs. He's a good. He's not a bad receiver.
Oh, you mean they got him back?
No. The Pats got Romeo Doubs.
Oh, Pats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's always been solid with his big old helmet.
Yeah. Human big head mode.
It's great. I get it. It looks funny, but hey, he's still.
Yeah, you got to protect yourself. Yeah, if it
I'm
extends your
all for
career,
it may look silly, but it's for a reason. So I'm okay with it. But yeah, this one had been a rumor for months, and it finally happened. So we kind of knew this was going to happen. But yeah, he mentioned Romeo Doubs as well. So definitely more weapons for May. But like I said, man, they can have that. All right, Martin, have a good one, buddy.
Bye, Martine. See you later.
But just run the ball, man. You can have those. It's cool to have the big time receivers when they need it, but just run the ball. You got probably the best running back core in the back there. Just wait. So
you got a really good two-headed monster there in New England. So
Trent McDuffie also going to the Rams. John, are you trying to give Rams a Super Bowl? Like, I don't know about this.
Okay, now this is the problem. Okay, look. I wasn't happy with this. I like Trent McDuffie. But it's a matter of money.
Yeah, you got to pay your quarterback everything. So, yeah, of course.
No, that's not where our money's going. Because our quarterback is, unlike other quarterbacks in the league,
he's actually on a team-friendly deal.
He keeps changing it. You're
a Chiefs fan?
Yeah.
Isn't he doing the Tom Brady thing? He's taking a pay cut to.
Oh yeah, well he's not. I mean, it's
not like he's taking pennies on the dollar, but yeah, he's friendly to free up space. Yes,
he keeps. Everybody does that. We've had. Let's see, Drew Tranquil took a pay cut to stay on the Chiefs. He's like, yeah, my contract's up, but yeah, I'll take a lesser contract to stay here. What player does that? Unless
we know the guy they needed to pay, and they eventually did, which was Chris Jones. Like that had to happen.
Chris Jones even rescheduled. Chris Jones even has restructured his contract to get some more cap room. But in the backfield of the Chiefs, that's our secondary is okay, but that's not where our bread and butter is. Our bread and butter is in that linebacker core. And that's why we still have Nick Bolton. And it was a choice, but if it was a choice between Trent McDuffie and Nick Bolton, we're keeping Bolton.
Gotcha. All right. If you get to the quarterback fast enough, that's all you need, right?
Yep.
Dexter Lawrence traded to the Bengals.
I don't know that's going to make that much of a deal on there. I mean their defense is so bad as it is.
The secondary is pretty awful. So I don't know. I mean, I guess you give them less time to pick you apart, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but you lost Hendricks though.
Yep.
Yeah, which was their only good player. And he went to the Ravens. Which I think the Ravens were trying to get Crosby, and that failed. So they literally the next day.
Crosby failed his physical.
That's such a weird thing to me. I don't get it.
My guess is he probably had too much THC in his system.
Okay. I mean, they're such physical specimens that it's really weird when something like that fails a physical.
Yeah.
But hey, they got someone. They got a new head coach there, so we'll see how they do. Jesse Minter. I don't know much about him. Kyler Murray with the Vikings.
That's not good.
I don't know if he's starter or J.J. McCarthy's going to be there, but J.J. McCarthy gets beat up a lot. But either way, they got Justin Jefferson, probably one of the best wide receivers in the game to throw to. So,
but Kyler Murray can't see over the damn line to get it over there.
They were showing some clips of the practices he was throwing some nice balls there. So,
yeah, but he has no line in front of him.
I mean, there you go. If he has no line, he has no one to look over. There you go.
Yeah, he can throw fine as long as he can see down the field. But problem is, he's got these giant guys in front of him, and he can't see because he's so damn short.
I think if that's a big worry, because that's what they said about Drew Brees, but who managed to get over it. I don't know if he has the mental acuity of Drew Brees, obviously.
That's true. No, he doesn't have the football IQ that Drew Brees had.
What he can do is he can get out of the pocket.
Yes,
so what they need to
mobile.
do is they need to get him out of the pocket and do some, bootlegs, do some, do a little West Coast offense there.
Yeah.
And get him out of the pocket so he can, while he's on the run, he can throw it or run if need be. He's still young enough to be able to do those kind of plays. So, I think getting him out of the pocket is where they got to go. And then they just run the ball if they can.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Caleb Downs, can anything save that defense? I mean, I don't know about all that. So, we'll see.
That's not going to help much.
Raiders, sure. Lindenbaum, he's a good center. But, I mean, the Raiders.
Well, they needed a new anchor for their new for their new quarterback
new quarterback, and of course they still got Genty, which sucks. I'm sad that he's there. They got Brock Bowers. They got good pieces there in the Raiders. Can it work? Can they get it to work? Is the question.
Raiders are never going to be a good team until they're out of the Davis family.
Out of the Davis, yeah, I gotcha. So they got the pieces. They've got the pieces, but can't.
So did the Falcons. So did the Falcons.
Right.
They had all the pieces in the world. But if you have all the pieces in the world and those pieces are not getting along.
Or the one I always think about is the Vince Young dream team of the Eagles. Remember that?
Yep. Yeah.
And that was the Vic and that all those players that they had. It was insane. And was that when Chip Kelly was leading them? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But I do remember it was the quote from Vince Young because he was the backup there. And he said, "We got the dream team" in one of their press conferences before the season started. And that team just never – they had so many good players on the team. Never clicked. Clicked. So let's see what that happens. And then, oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
That was a steal for you guys.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe that this is 100% our biggest need we needed.
You need a route runner. And you got one.
Yeah, this is insane how good this is because we didn't lose a lot. We didn't lose a lot in the offseason, and we were on the cusp of a Super Bowl.
I feel so bad for those Dolphins, man, because for a couple of years they were such a fun team to watch.
Yep. And now their head coach is in Los Angeles, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. So,
the question is Chargers going to institute a dress code so he doesn't wear the pre-pants?
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. So yeah, we don't have a lot of holes in our team. I think tight end could use a little up for sure. We did draft a tight end, and then we still got Evan Ingram, who didn't do a whole lot last year, unfortunately. So hopefully with another year
tight end's been a hole for you guys for a long time.
Yeah, it sure has. I think the last guy that I really liked was Thomas. He was awesome. Not to be confused with Demaryius Thomas. It was I forget his first name, but his last name was Thomas as well. He was with Peyton Manning. He ended up going I think to the Jags and then kind of fell off the earth. Something like that. But he wasn't a great run blocker at all. But he was great in the pass. He was a vertical threat, which was his role. But So, but then wide receiver was kind of like it was okay at times. Like Sutton is great. Mims Jr. made some great plays. Troy Franklin is up and coming. Pat Bryant has some good plays, but he got hurt. So we have some good wide receivers, but this Jalen Waddle and Cortland Sutton just puts us in the top tier of wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, it definitely
definitely
made you guys a lot scarier than.
And then the defense, like we didn't lose a lot. We lost one interior lineman on the defensive side. Other than that, we're solid.
Yeah,
like,
you guys are going to have a good defense again this year.
This year should be a step forward. And then Bo Nix coming. As long as Bo Nix is good from that injury, he's already looking pretty good. He's already practicing. So, as long as he's good, throws more, and now he has a wide receiver he can throw more and run less. I think that's going to be only a good thing.
AFC West is going to be a monster this year.
Yeah, right.
I think the Chiefs are going to have a losing record this year like they did last year.
I mean,
no, we're not.
Sorry, John. We all saw that play. We all saw that clip of Mahomes throwing at the back of his center. And that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Maybe in game, but that was funny as hell. DJ Moore to the Bills. Bills, of course, always need wide receivers. I liked who was it that they got in that one? Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
that was. I don't know why they didn't keep him. But the DJ Moore I've always liked DJ Moore.
I'm going to tell you something right now. The Bills got a guy from my UConn Huskies, Skylar Bell. That dude's going to be a beast. Because he can do anything. He can screen, deep route. He's got great hands. He's quick. Not just and I'm talking start and go quick. He can stop, juke, and then just take off like a rocket. I'm telling you, Bills are going to be scary with that team this year.
We also, I don't know if he's going to make the team, but we also got the wide receiver from the St. Louis Battlehawks from the XFL, who was the best wide receiver in that league. Yep. We signed him, Hakeem Butler. I've watched him play in the XFL. That dude is a beast. He's a tight end. I actually think they should put him at tight end, and we'd be unstoppable. But he is 30, so he's a little older. So I don't know how that.
Yeah.
Why not give him a chance? What's it hurt for a 1-2 year deal?
Ruby and Bain, I don't know much about him. So, but I guess
he's a good edge. I mean, he's a good edge.
Oh, this is a new guy. This is a rookie.
Yeah.
Okay. I see now. Yeah. Drafted by the Buccaneers. I was like, that's kind of weird.
The Buccaneers are not going to be good this
year.
I
remember because we did watch the first round of
the draft.
Yeah. I do remember him. Yeah.
Because he's who I wanted us to draft.
That's right. You mentioned him a lot. Yeah. Okay.
This is when we can. This is going to be the start when we can go back to remembering the Buccaneers for being irrelevant.
That's the other draft that I wanted.
Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame. Oh,
yep.
Horrible pick.
It's so sad that he's stuck with the Cardinals.
That's okay. We're gonna get.
It's not a horrible pick. It's just a horrible.
In the first round, it was where they.
We're gonna Ahmad Hardy this year.
Jeremiah Love was a great pick. It's just a terrible team.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love was amazing with Notre Dame. And then the other running back for Notre Dame got picked in the first round too, I think.
Oh yeah. They lost both their running backs. Yeah.
Mike Evans, who was signed, I think he got hurt already. I'm pretty sure he's already gotten hurt with the 49ers. I guess it's a 49ers.
Mike Evans is always hurt.
Not really. I mean, it wasn't until last year. I mean, last year was the first time he didn't reach 1,000 yards at least.
That's true. I mean, well, he still gets hurt. He just has such production numbers.
Yeah. Games. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
So we'll see with that one. Jalen Phillips. Okay. Panthers did pretty good on defense last year, so this is really good for them for sure. Alontae Taylor. I mean, Tennessee. I'm not going to talk about Tennessee much. Jared Verse. That was the trade.
I think Ward is going to be a good. I think Ward's going to have a good year this year, though.
I mean, it's just not a very good team. And I like some of the I think they still got Tony Pollard.
I'm going to tell you something. They're not going to be good, but they're not going to be awful.
Who's he going to throw to? That's my thing. I think he's got one young wide receiver that's pretty decent. But I don't
think the Titans are going to be awful next year.
I don't think they're going to do anything great. Kenneth Walker.
I'm not saying that, and I don't think they're going to be more than a 5-win team. But I think that they're going to be an exciting team to watch. They could be an interesting team.
I mean, their defense is good. Good defense can always keep you in games. So
Kenneth Walker. I don't know how
got this. I don't know how he got this.
We finally got, but because all our big name players made room for him, so we could pay him.
Craziness.
But no, we finally got a running back that can run and catch.
I mean,
somebody's going to be a threat in the screen game. Is just it's a game changer for us.
The only reason I'm saying that Kenneth Walker isn't going to go the path of Edwards-Helaire is because you guys got rid of Pacheco or whatever his name is.
Pacheco.
Because for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what running back they have, they just always preferred Pacheco.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess we'll see how they do. Whatever.
I hate taking Chiefs players in my fantasy team because they always have such potential, but man, are they spotty. Because
Xavier Worthy, the fastest guy, and they never throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Jalen Watson.
Yeah. That was a good.
Rams, man. Rams are loading
up.
Up.
Yeah, the Rams are looking for the Super Bowl this year.
Indeed.
I could see them falling apart though. This almost seems like they're too good to actually win.
I can't see that. I mean, could be, and the reason why is because of Stafford. Unless he gets hurt.
Matthew Stafford is the glue that's going to hold that team together.
And he'll drag them on his back into there. But I think that defense is really good. And then as long as he stays relatively healthy and can get to the ball to his wide receivers who are killers, then they're fine. Duffy away. I'm not sure of him, but the Commanders, they're trying to make a comeback again. Brady Smith, I mean, I don't think anything on the line will fix that. What's going on with that head case at quarterback? Definitely falling off there.
Yeah.
Man,
This is why we weren't.
Gotcha.
This is why we weren't too worried about losing Duffy and Watson this year, because this guy is one of those. He's glue. He is glue to wide receivers.
LSU.
Where do you go to college?
LSU.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. Makes sense. Defense team there. Defensive college. So very well. Malik Willis. Oh, you mentioned it earlier. Disciple. This I definitely feel bad for this guy. I've talked about him on our show. Malik Willis all the time. Even when he was the Titans. I'm a huge Malik Willis.
Wasn't.
I was following him when he came out of college. And
did he go to Liberty?
I don't know.
He may have. Liberty.
Maybe at some point he was. I don't remember where he came from out of college, but I definitely followed him after when he came into the league, and I was rooting for him with the Titans. But that team was just so bad. He never had a chance there. And then he actually got to show off some stuff for when Love got hurt. And I mean, you tell him a little bit about it, Disciple, because I thought he looked really good for him.
Yeah, dude. I was honestly, I think we should have got rid of Love and stuck with Willis. I think we would have been better off.
I'm not ready to go that far, but yeah, I did.
I am, because Love is not the guy. Love is good. Love doesn't have the it.
He doesn't have the it. Okay.
I hope he proves me wrong, because there are times where you see it where he looks like the guy, and there's just other times it's just like he just looks like an average quarterback.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, yeah. No,
I would have done what like the Seahawks did. You don't build you build around the quarterback. You don't organize your team for the quarterback. The quarterback is there for the team. Or I don't know. I think that's the way to go these days.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, to be fair, at least Love, as opposed to Rodgers, actually got a wide receiver in the first round. So you know, they never did that for Rodgers. So you know, I feel like. But no, Malik Willis, he gets to the Dolphins, and the Dolphins literally that week trade away Waddle, right? And Tyreek Hill's not there anymore, so I don't even know who they have at wide receiver anymore. I mean, the only thing he really has on his side is Achane.
Yeah,
that's it. So I mean, I don't know who he's going to throw to, but I like it. I hope he does well there. But unfortunately, Miami's going to be in rebuild mode. Pure and simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I just we'll see, but I mean that's what I think.
They traded all their weapons, so
pretty much, or let him go. Which in Madden right now, Tyreek Hill is a free agent, so I picked him up. So now I got Tyreek Hill and Waddle on my team. It's great with Sutton. It's great. Ava Reese, he's just coming out. He just got drafted, so do some drafts here. Reek Woolen. I think he was from the Seattle, if I remember correctly. So I guess they're working on their secondary. All right. I'm going to go a lot more quickly through this. Isaiah Likely from the Ravens. I'm kind of surprised the Ravens let him go.
Well, he went with Harbaugh, so that's what happened.
That makes sense. David Montgomery from the Lions. Yep. They don't have Sonic and Knuckles anymore. Nope. So that's going to be interesting. But unfortunately for the Texans, every wide or running back that goes here, what the hell happened to Joe Mixon? I still don't understand. That dude was that dude didn't play at all last year. I haven't heard his name this year. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened to that dude. I don't get it. But now they got David Montgomery. I'm just gonna go Mekhi Lemon. I heard his name a lot, drafted by the Eagles. So this is probably why they let Brown go. Yeah, Malachi Lemon was really, really highly sought out afterwards. So in the draft, so I can see that. Kirk Cousins of the Raiders. He makes. I think their plan is to start him for the year and let Mendoza sit for the year. We'll see how long that lasts.
That's going to last about 3 games.
This is the one guy we lost in our defense, John Franklin Myers. He's going to Tennessee, but this was the one guy. He was really good for us, but I think we can cover that. Let's see here. I'm not going to go to Geno Smith.
Gary.
Geno Smith going back to the Jets where he got drafted. That's an interesting one. We'll see how that team goes. Let's see if they'll get a pick this year. The only team to not get a pick.
Yeah, this is probably Gino's probably going back there for
It's the league high 17 interceptions going to train against the defense that caught no picks. I mean,
yes,
movable object, make stoppable mountain. I don't know.
Yeah.
How's that saying again?
I think Gino just wanted his career to do a full circle, and
right.
He'll be here till he retires.
Travis Etienne, that's kind of crazy. The I think they let him go, the Jags the Jags let him go.
Yeah,
I think it was with the Jags, right? Or is it Trevor Etienne? I'm trying to remember.
There's two Etiennes. I'm
right.
Sure.
They're brothers, I believe, but I can't remember. Was Travis from the Jags?
No, Travis was Jacksonville.
Well, yeah. I see. Yeah. So they did let him go. I think it's because they got Tutton.
Yeah. And they had Etienne's deal was supposed to be rather large this year.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, he probably should be done with this. And then the Saints got to have money, right?
Well, yeah, they did because Kamara restructured. They didn't do a lot in free agency.
Yeah. So Mendoza, of course, quarterback for them. And then, there we go. So I just wanted to cover as well a little bit about the coaches, which this list has as well. So you got Buffalo. They fired Sean McDermott after that, and they went with Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator. And of course, obviously a lot of changes with that. Of course, you got the Dolphins, fire McDaniels, and now they got Jeff Hafley. I'm not sure where he comes from. I don't recognize the name.
I don't either.
And then we got the Patriots, a couple coordinator changes. The Jets, of course, I mean, they're always going to be firing their coaches every other year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so. But this time they just did their DC
coordinator.
The Ravens, of course, got rid of John Harbaugh. He's now with the Giants. So they got Jesse Minter. I don't know much about him. Cincinnati Bengals didn't fire their coach, but they did extend a few people. Kevin Stefanski getting fired from the Browns is kind of interesting. I don't know why they did that personally. I think that's something. It seems like when the Browns get momentum, they just fire their coach, kind of like the Raiders.
Oh yeah. Talk about teams that shoot themselves in their own.
Now this says resigned, but we know what really happened. Just never getting anywhere in the playoffs. It's just how it is. So
he was just tired of the bullshit, and I'm gone.
But this one was really surprised me. Instead of going for a younger, up-and-coming coach, they decided to go with Mike McCarthy, who hasn't done anything really in the last decade.
Yeah.
So, sure. But they reunite with Aaron Rodgers for one last hurrah, I guess. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Just going to see if there's any more coaching changes that I can't remember. Oh, yeah, of course, Brian Callahan. And Robert Saleh, that's right. I forgot all about this because Joe was not happy about this one. One of his favorite coaches. He hates the Titans and what they do to coaches. He didn't like what they did to Vrabel. And then Vrabel turned out to be a turd. So, whatever. No. But, Robert Saleh, unfortunately, one of the best.
What the Titans do is they bring in a defensive-minded head coach and they draft offense.
Right. Yeah.
They try and build their offense. No, that's not how
and the Titans' defense is pretty decent, but I'm not and this is just a personal thing from experience with the Broncos. Anytime we've done a defensive coordinator, it just never works out for us.
Yeah.
At least for the Broncos. We tried Vic Fangio. He's a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, but his head coach was not fun. Vance Joseph, who's currently our defensive coordinator, he didn't work out as our head coach, but he came back as our defensive coordinator. He did a great job there, especially ever since that 77-point game against the Dolphins. Our defense completely turned around since that game.
The thing is, everybody goes, "Oh, well, if you're a great coordinator, you should make a good head coach." No, a coordinator, a really fantastic coordinator. A lot of times, they're good at one side of the ball. That's why they're a good coordinator.
Right. I think we've disproven that with Josh McDaniels. Okay, I think he's been giving plenty of chances. He destroyed the offense with the Broncos, just completely ripped that team apart and left it a mess. And then he got a chance with the Raiders, and they hated him. Those players hated him. They were so happy he was gone. That interim coach that they had was like,
well, that's my point. He's the one that proves my. I didn't get.
Well, with the Patriots,
I didn't finish my point. But it's coordinator. It doesn't just because they're a great coordinator does not mean they'll make a great head coach.
Indeed. So Robert Saleh, it's a shame because he went back to the 49ers as like an advisor for the second half of the season or whatever it was. Cool. Denver Broncos, of course, we got a new offensive coordinator for reasons because Sean Payton once again gives up the play calling duties. Sure, we'll see how long that lasts.
For about 3 games, maybe 4.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys fired your wide receivers coach, Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy has had some crazy drama this last offseason. My goodness. His wife got shot.
His wife got shot by his son.
My son. That's insane.
Yeah,
I didn't know this one though.
Yeah, he's out right now. He doesn't have time. He'll be back by the start of the season. But
DeMarco Murray as the running back coach. I haven't heard that name in a while since the Cowboys screwed him over.
Oh yeah. That does. He's been coaching, so you know.
The Raiders fired Chip Kelly. Fired Pete Carroll. Clint Kubiak. I think is that Gary Kubiak's son?
They didn't fire Pete Carroll. They put him back in a sarcophagus.
Fired. Chargers fire their OC. Okay, yep. Fire their offensive line coach. It makes sense.
Yeah,
I get that. Cowboys. Yeah, Matt Eberflus getting fired for the Cowboys. Yes, someone needed to get fired for that monstrosity.
No. Cowboys, I can fix Cowboys in one move.
What, trade for a linebacker that can rush the passer?
No.
And not give him to the Packers?
No. Sell the team to someone else.
Oh, okay. Well, they re-signed Javonte Williams. I liked Williams, but he didn't do very well, unfortunately, for us.
Yeah, they franchised. I guess he didn't get paid. They just franchise tagged him, so he's getting the franchise pay.
George Pickens, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good money still, but it's not security, right? That's what players like. No. Security.
You got MVS. I always like him. He's a good safety valve receiver.
Indeed. Brian Dubal, especially after that Broncos meltdown, he got fired.
No, they did. They did give him a contract. Look, they re-signed him.
Oh, right there. Yeah, okay. It looks like it kind of goes in order of what they do, and then at the bottom, they do. So they just kind of add it on as a note. That makes sense. John Harbaugh, of course, now the head coach for the Giants. Isaiah Likely followed him.
Yeah.
So that Odell Beckham is back. I forgot about that. Odell Beckham and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
I forgot about Juju too, man. He's a reliable wide receiver.
Yeah,
there you go.
I miss him. He's another one that
he did good for you guys. He did all right. Eagles fire their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Let's see. Commanders. Yep. Their defense definitely. I mean, when you get Von Miller and Bobby Wagner, you get the oldest guys in the league on your defense. Yeah. There's going to be some holes there, but let's see here. OC, yeah, their offense didn't do so well last year, so I could see that. Packers, not a crazy amount of difference there. Extended their GM.
We're going to win 8 games this year. We're not going to be a good team.
Extended Jalen Reed. There you go. Signed Tyrod Taylor. I love Tyrod Taylor.
They got Sky Moore.
Sky Moore?
Yeah, we drafted him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's see here. Vikings. Oh, man, the Vikings are going to be interesting. Raheem Morris fired last year. And Kevin Stefanski, that's right. He came from the Browns. And Falcons are like, we want you. Come here. Fix our quarterback.
It's not going to work because they're already on the their suck list. Their suck has already started because their big edge rusher is out for the year from training camp.
I believe in Big Penix. Or Penix, excuse me.
This is interesting. Jonathan Gannon, he was from the Eagles, I believe, and he was only there for like a year or two. He didn't get a lot of time. Mike LaFleur, not to be confused with Matt LaFleur,
his brother.
His brother, yeah. I didn't even know he existed until that Hall of Fame game. But he's the new head coach. This guy, I don't know how the hell he keeps getting a job. Now, I wanted an offensive coach for our team, but he clearly didn't fit with him. And you get those matches in heaven, right, with Breeze and Peyton, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Russell Wilson and the Nathaniel Hackett is not a team that you'll ever see.
Let's be real. Nathaniel Hackett only did well at that Packers thing because he had Aaron Rodgers,
right?
Matt
Schaub,
Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones.
The best Texans quarterback ever, Matt Schaub.
Yep.
Forgot about that guy. All right. Let's see. Of course, they extended Sean McVay. Why is it every year you see those articles of him retiring? I don't get it.
Yeah, they're going to pay him, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it till he's 90.
Till you're 90.
They're not going to let him go anywhere.
We kind of already discussed what happened last year.
40. Why would he retire at 40?
Second here. Let me fix one thing. I'm just going to put the last thing we'll do, we're going to wrap up here. But I wanted to cover up some of our teams respectively. So we'll start with, as soon as I can find it. Sorry, folks, give me a moment. Oh, jeez. Where's the teams? Teams. There you are. So we'll start with the Green Bay Packers. So right out the gate, you got the Vikings. We'll get to see Kyler Murray. We'll see how that goes. Then you got the Jets. I mean, you guys should be able to handle that, right? Falcons on Thursday night.
To that game.
You may go to that game. Okay. And then you got the Buccaneers. That's going to be a big NFC game. Of course, that's a pretty interesting stretch there. Falcons are still kind of an unknown. Then you got the Buccaneers, right, with Baker Mayfield, and you got the Bears at home. And then you got the Cowboys, so I mean that'll probably be a shootout. Then you got the Lions, and then the Panthers, then the Patriots. That's a pretty crazy stretch there. I'm not saying those are, I'm not going to call it a brutal stretch. I don't think these are the hardest teams in the league. The Lions kind of took a step back. Cowboys don't have a good defense, but we'll see this year. But their offense is pretty good.
So I'm going to tell you something right now. You see that Rams game?
Okay.
We're going to win that Rams game somehow.
On Netflix?
Yes, we will win that game. Guarantee it. And then we're going to lose to the Saints.
Oh, okay.
Or we're going to we're going to beat the Bills, then we're going to lose to the Dolphins. I'm telling you, that's how it's going to. That's what they always do. We always have a letdown loss after a big win.
Man, so what about the Bears? We going to split?
We're going to beat the Bears. We will. The Bears are going to fall off this year, and we're going to beat the
Bears.
Bears.
Really? You don't think they're? I mean, the Bears have been kind of on an upward trajectory. You think they're going to crash? Is that a little bias going on?
Yeah, but it's the Bears. Every time they tell me they're going to do good, they never do good.
What about you, John? How do you look at this list? You think Packers got a good year coming? Potentially. It's not the worst schedule I've seen.
No, they've got a decent schedule.
Well, we'll see.
They've got some rough spots, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's some tough ones in here. Buccaneers, I think that's going to be a big one.
No, they'll beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are not that good.
I'm never going to rule out Baker Mayfield. I'm just not. Now you got Mbuku there. You got what's the other wide receiver they have there? Shoot, I forget his name. But you got that young Mbuku wide receiver who's really good.
Nakua? Yeah.
No, not Puka. That's the Rams.
Yeah.
For the Bucks. They got rid of Mike Evans.
And game. Is that a disease or is that an Ohio State wide receiver?
Of course, you got the Lions a couple times, and then the Panthers who made the playoffs, and then, of course the Rams. Got the Bills. Say what you want. That's a tough game. That's the Bills.
That's gonna be a good game.
It's during regular season. Yeah, they're hard to beat regular season.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You got the Texans. that's going to be a good game too. Primetime game versus the Texans. So you got that. So hey, we got you guys in the preseason.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. I think the Packers could win 9 games. I think 9's their ceiling, personally.
Yeah. I don't know about ceiling, but I think that's a good, at the very least, I think 9 games is good.
We'll make the wild card, and we'll just disappoint.
There you go. Then we got Seattle. So this is Joe's team. So they start out, of course, the first game of the season on Wednesday night on the 9th of September. They're going versus the Patriots.
By the way, every first kickoff of the NFL season should be the previous year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, wasn't it a few years ago that, like, what was it, the Baltimore team had to play at the other team's school? The other team.
No, the Panthers and Broncos played each other.
No. I'm talking about. There was one year where the Baltimore Ravens had just won the Super Bowl, but because their baseball team was playing at their field that day or something like that, they had to go to the other team's home school. I thought that was ridiculous. Yeah. Nothing NFL should ever be delayed or changed because of baseball. No, that was just stupid. Fucking baseball. Anyways, the Seahawks. Let's see. It looks like they got the AFC West this year, and the NFC.
Back to their old
NFC East.
Their old conference.
Yep. See, and we talked a little bit about it earlier with the expansion teams. That's one thing I haven't experienced. I've never experienced a division change. I've had in my football career, knowledge career, starting in 2001, I've had no new teams. I've had no division changes. I've had nothing. It's boring. It's all the same. That's why I'm getting into college, because nothing's new in the NFL anymore. Anyways, 49ers, Chargers, Broncos on Prime Video. That's going to be – they finally come to us. I was telling John before his show, they're finally coming to Denver because we always had to go to Seattle when we played them. So I'm glad they're finally going to have to come to us. Versus the Chiefs right after that. Woo, that's crazy. That's another – they got 2 primetime games, 3 primetime games in a row. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. So you got Broncos, Chiefs, and Bears.
They are the reigning.
No, absolutely. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. So I'm just saying that's a pretty crazy stretch right there. They're all playing 3 night games in a row. Then you get a bit of an easier stretch here. I think this is going to be a nice time to relax and kick back. Take a little break, maybe put some backups in. Right. Then they got just to prepare for the 49ers, because they get a bye week after this. So they basically get like a month off.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then
but don't sleep on a divisional opponent.
I know. I know.
The Cardinals.
I know. That's what Joe would be saying right now. Don't you sleep on the Cardinals? But then they come back against the 49ers and they go to California.
Yeah, but I don't think the Niners are going to do anything this year. I think they're on the downward slope.
But again, it's one of those things. It's a divisional opponent thing, so throw it out the window. Yeah. You get the Cowboys, Giants, Eagles. So a nice run of NFC East teams here. And, of course, the Rams, Panthers, and Rams. So that's nice. Nice little back-to-back there right at the end there. This is clearly going to be for the division, right? Rams and Seahawks here at the end of the season. These 3 weeks are going to be – and then for the Panthers, that could be a seeding position there for them.
You don't really think the Seahawks are going to be that good this year?
I don't see why not. I mean, the only thing the biggest thing that's going to be hurting for them is their running back.
Yeah.
I won't understand why they got rid of Kenneth Walker. But other than that, they've still got a lot of their pieces. So, I think they'll still be pretty good. Next, take a look at the Broncos schedule. Of course, we start out right off the bat.
You guys are going to win that game.
The first Monday night. I mean, we're going to the Chiefs, so I'm not. Plus, Bo Nix is coming off the injury. It's a wild card. Broncos are a wild card right now. And we don't start fast either. And this stretch, to me, is the most brutal I've ever seen. The beginning of this season. Chiefs, Jaguars, Rams, 49ers, Chargers, Seahawks.
Don't sleep on the Chargers. Do not sleep on the Chargers.
That's what I'm saying. And we got to go to their house. I mean, Chargers and home field advantage. That's an oxymoron. But the Chargers in general, right, during the regular season, are a pretty decent team. But yeah, this is just like one of the hardest stretch right here that I've seen in quite a while. So that's going to be tough.
And a lot of that's on the road. Good Lord.
I mean, we got the Jags and the Rams at home, so that's good. But yeah, the Chiefs and the 49ers. And we're basically just going to stay in California for a couple weeks, probably. and then we have to welcome the Seahawks, so that's going to be rough. But then we got the Cardinals, so hopefully we can take care of them. But then we got the Chiefs again. Then we got the Panthers. That's going to be tough. We go to Carolina. Maybe I could take a trip down south, go to that game. I don't know. Raiders, of course. Steelers. Hopefully we could just. I mean. Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere. We should be able to. It's their defense that I'm worried about more than anything.
Oh, that ending stretch is nice for you guys.
It is. Dolphins, Jets, Raiders. That should be good. The Bills, though, of course, on Netflix. The Patriots will get our revenge. That'll be our revenge game, and then the Chargers to hopefully cap out the season. So that'll be. And that's Christmas Day. Bills on Christmas Day.
I think you guys got 10 or 11 in you.
Yeah, it's going to be. If we can get past this brutal stretch, maybe. If we could get past this first 6 games, 4-2, I think I'd be happy.
Yeah, or 3-3.
Yeah. Even with 3-3, I think I'd be happy with that. Just because that is a brutal stretch, and then we can get this one. If we can at least split the Chiefs, I think that'd be nice. At least split it, and then I think we can handle the Panthers. I think we can handle the Raiders. I think we can handle. I think, and then we get just like easier stretch here. I think this is where we can get back into the forerunning of the AFC, or at least get back in the conversation. And then, of course, the Bills game is going to be the biggest one on Christmas. This is clearly going to be for seeding and home field advantage, hopefully. And then, of course, the Patriots again. Who does the Patriots have to deal with in the AFC North or East? Outside the Bills, kind of thing. So
Dolphins ain't doing crap.
Right, Dolphins, Jets. I mean, yeah, okay. So we'll see how that goes.
I think the Jets might be what I mean by a wild card, not a wild card team. A wild card as in bad teams that could do a lot better than people think they're going to do.
I don't know. I'm not going to believe. I haven't believed in them since Rex Ryan.
I don't believe in them either.
So here we got the Chiefs. Finally, we're going to do the Chiefs. Look at them a little bit, and of course you got the Broncos starting off. And you got the Colts. That's a decent game. Mac Jones or not Mac Jones. Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so fun to watch last year. It's unfortunate they crashed at the end of the season, but that first what was it? 8 weeks, 10 weeks was something special. Like they were the number one team for that stretch, and then just kind of fell apart. Got a nice stretch here. Dolphins and Raiders. Poor Dolphins. I mean. They are kind of a wild card because there's not known much about the team in general because they got rid of everything. So it's kind of tough. But then you got the Raiders, so divisional opponent. Other than that, we'll see. Chargers are, to me, are still kind of an unknown because I mean they got their quarterback right, but that line isn't that great. It never really is. The defense is okay, but the offense is pretty good. I don't know if they have Keenan Allen anymore. So I'm not sure how they're going to do.
I think he's a free agent this year.
I don't think he brought him back. Then you got to go to Seattle, and then to Denver.
Yeah.
So that's a rough stretch right there. You're going to be on the road a lot. You're going to be away, and then you got 2 big games against one primetime game, and then another at their house. So that's a tough one. But then you get the Jets, so that's a nice bye week. And then the Falcons.
They got a 2-week bye week. Yeah, that's
yeah. I mean the Falcons. I wouldn't say bye week for the Falcons, but the Cardinals for sure. But the Falcons again, wild card. We have no idea. They have the pieces, but that's a coaching thing. Can Kevin Stefanski, who is an offensive minded coach, who took over for a defensive minded coach, can he get that offense together? So I think his odds are a lot better than Morris was. And then you got at the Bills, at the Rams, at the Bengals versus the Patriots versus the 49ers, at the Chargers. That's a pretty brutal stretch right there.
Yeah.
Especially if the Bengals are back. The Bengals are due, right? They got to be due. Something's got to go with the Bengals. It's been way too long since they've been relevant, right? I mean, Burrows is getting older. Chase is getting older. They got to do something now. So I think this is their bounce. They got to be comeback players of the year, I think. If not, then I think they just need to.
The Bengals are Dan Marino.
It could be, but they need to get back to that though. These last couple of years, it's been
no. I mean, they're not gonna, they're gonna be a good team, but they're never gonna go anywhere.
Gotcha.
Like, Dan Marino set all the records in the world, but
right. But at the moment, Burrow's barely even playing. He's barely played the last 2 years.
Well, yeah. It's
so I'm like, something's got to give.
Apparently,
right?
Apparently, he's made of paper.
Right. So. So we'll see. So this could be a brutal stretch, especially if the Bengals are back. Otherwise, if he gets hurt early in the season, he doesn't make it to this game. This could be a bye week for you guys. Patriots are kind of that offense. To me, the offense is a wild card.
Yeah,
but I think they got some. I keep saying this. Those running backs, man. Yeah. Focus on the running backs. And I don't know how good your guys' run defense is.
It's usually pretty good.
So that'll be the matchup, right? To me, that'd be the key to that one. Keeping Mahomes off the field and run the ball. Yeah. And then you finish with the Chargers and the Raiders. Of course, the Raiders, by that time, it probably won't even matter, except for maybe seeding-ish, just to get a higher spot, possibly. Or what the Chiefs usually do, rest their players.
Yeah, it's a last bye week for us.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll see how it goes there. Last things we'll cover. We got 10 minutes here. We actually covered a lot more than I thought we were going to, John. I'll be honest. I didn't even know if we were going to make 2 hours. Disciple, I think you're a contributor to that.
Oh no, I'm
because it wasn't just me and no. I'm thanking you because I wasn't sure we were going to make 2 hours. Sometimes when it's just me and John, we cover what we cover and it doesn't usually take the 2 hours. But now we're getting to almost hour 3, and I think we still have things to talk about, but I'm going to save the rest of what we could talk about for our first show on the 6th, which I hope you join us for. That's when we start doing it weekly.
Nice.
After that. So this was just kind of a special show for today, but we're about to wrap up.
We always do a preseason show for the first after the Hall of Fame game.
Yep. So. Just to kind of talk a little bit over the off season.
It's difficult with going to church and stuff like that, but man, I would love to do this.
No, understood.
Yeah.
That's why Joe's able to. Joe goes to he goes to church early on Sunday just so he could be able to do this show later in the morning. That's how he does it. Not saying you have to do that or anything like that. I'm just saying that's why he's able to do it. So because and normally we never last this long because the games start at 1, right? We're only able to do that today because there's no games going on until next week. So. That's all. So just real quick, I'm just going to look at a little bit of what we got going on in the preseason. If you guys see anything, obviously preseason is not a whole lot there. It's really week 2 or 3? What is it now with the new setup? Is it week 3 still
3 weeks?
The most amount? Or excuse me, my question being is the third week when the most amount of starters play?
Yeah.
Or is it week 2?
No, it's week 3.
Is it week 3? Okay, so
week 3, most starters usually play the first quarter.
First quarter or first half, depending, right? So
or not first quarter, but yeah, first half.
First half, gotcha.
Yeah.
So this obviously week 1, this is gonna be like maybe a drive, right? One good drive, maybe 2 if they feel like they need just a little bit more time. But
or
just
they want to put their star out there for the fans that pay the money.
Right.
See them play once.
So we got Atlanta. Let's see. Green Bay. You guys got Pittsburgh. So you'll see Aaron Rodgers is not seeing the field, I don't think. Right?
No.
I don't think. No. And probably Love isn't either. I'd be kind of surprised if Bo Nix takes the field just because of that injury coming back from it. Maybe they will. Maybe they will put him in because they want to see him hold up. Right? So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Atlanta's same thing. Penix coming back from injury. So we'll see there. Let's see, Seattle and Dallas. Maybe Darnold. I think Darnold will get a drive, right? They're going to have a who do they have there? Champagne? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
That's their lead running back now. I guess they'll want to see if they gel, right? Get maybe one good drive there. So we'll see how that goes. And then week 2, we got Green. Yeah, that's right, Green Bay. Yeah. You're going down. Our backups are backups.
Yay, preseason versus who?
It's Broncos and Green Bay.
Who's spending $43 to go to a preseason game?
I would. That's if you get a chance to get up near the front and yell at your players.
That's low as.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's for nosebleeds, dude.
Denver shows up.
Yeah. Tickets aren't cheap either.
Kansas at Tampa Bay. So this one will probably maybe get half a quarter, maybe a quarter of players. So we'll get a little something maybe, depending on how they're feeling, how injured they are. So not too much. And then of course the one where they take the most snaps usually is the third week. So this is maybe we'll see a little bit. So Minnesota, they got a QB thing going on there. So we'll see who they play. I think Stidham is going to be pretty much our guy.
We got Seattle for preseason.
Yep, Seattle. So you'll see a good chunk of Darnold versus Chris Jones and Mahomes versus that Seattle defense for a good maybe half.
Right. You get the annual Jets and Giants game, preseason game.
Yeah.
Is that an annual thing?
I don't know, but it should be a game that's a regular season game every year.
That's funny. But if they did, whose colors would they put up? Don't they play in the same stadium? Would it just be like half or something like that?
No, they when they do it, it's whoever's technically the home team that gets the home game that year.
Yeah,
that's weird.
They should play that game every year in the regular season.
I think they should make something of it and make it like they split the stadium in half.
Right?
That's just the Rams and Chargers.
Yeah. Would that be crazy? A Rams Chargers Super Bowl in that dome?
That will nenever happen.
No, and nobody would want to watch it. But
no.
Yeah, and then the last thing we'll talk about before we get out of here is just the week one stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to touch on this too much because we're actually going to talk about this. We're going to our first show of the season, official show of the season, is going to be the 6th of September. So that's Sunday before the first week. So I'll be able to talk a little bit about the first week of week 0 and week 1 of college. Those games will have happened, so that'll be fun. I'll get to showcase that. After the show, Disciple, I can tell you about my point system that I created last year, which I thought was pretty cool.
And this is on the 6th?
That is on the 6th of September.
See, we should do a college show on Saturday mornings. Or like a Wednesday night college football breakdown.
So I'm extremely lazy and don't want to start my own show. But if you did one, I would 100% join you.
Yeah, I'm tempted to start something for college football. Like
if you start one, I will 100% join you. I promise you.
I may do that and just do like a Rumble only thing though. Maybe, I don't know, because I like doing Rumble better.
Yeah, whatever you want, man. You give me a link, I will join it. But that's about I want to. Like I said, I'm just too lazy. But let's see. So of course we start out with New England, Seattle. That's going to be, I don't know. It's the rematch Super Bowl that they usually do, right? So that's why that's there. San Fran and Los Angeles. You mean San Francisco, right? They're healthy, so maybe this will be a good game.
Yeah.
until they lose half their players. Tampa Bay, Cincinnati. God, Burrow. Something's got to give. That's my only thing with them. Something's got to give. Either he completes the season or he doesn't. Oh my God, New York and Tennessee might actually be a good game. I always look for these games because of how bad usually the teams are. Those games are usually pretty decent to watch, right? Because they're on the same level, so to speak. Yeah. So it actually might be a decent game to watch. Baltimore and the Colts. Oh man, there you go. Little revenge for Indianapolis. Because Ravens leaving town and everything. I don't know. That I don't think anyone thinks about that anymore. But there you go. Buffalo and Houston. Ooh, that's a good one. First week for a 1:00 game. That's an interesting one. Miami and Las Vegas. That's another two teams. I think Malik Willis could get his first win that week. That's an interesting game. So Washington and Philly, a divisional game right off the bat. There's a couple of division games. Green Bay, Minnesota. I mean, who do you think, Disciple, Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy starting?
I think they're going to start Murray.
Murray? I think so.
I don't think you bring Murray in because you're just looking to have him back up.
Indeed. And then, of course, the Sunday night game, you got Dallas at New York. And then to end the first week, you got Denver at Kansas City. So that's about all we're going to cover for this one. 3 hours of content, John. I didn't think we were going to get it, but we did. This is pretty crazy. So,
nice.
we covered way more college than we would have, like I mentioned earlier. That's because Joe's not here. And then we just got on quite a roll with the NFL, and I appreciate you coming, Disciple. It was a joy having you, John. As always, this was a lot of fun. Final thoughts of the season. What are you looking forward to, John?
I'm going to return to the big game.
Return to the big game. Yeah. Return to the MAC, right?
Yep.
Return of the MAC. What about you, Disciple? What are you looking forward to?
College football.
College football. You know what? I am too, man. It's so fun to watch.
Dude,
I've definitely got it way into it. Way too much.
I will work with it, but maybe, I don't know, Tuesday night or a Thursday night show might be fun for college football.
I can't wait to see Waddle do the waddle in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
You're going to have that.
Wait for that connection.
I think you're going to have a lot of that this year.
Absolutely. All right, folks, we're going to cut it out here. Let me see if I can figure out how to do the outro stuff. Appreciate you, the people that came by. This was a great show. We actually made it 3 hours. Really good. We actually could have went longer, I think, but we need to cut it off and actually end the show.
Yeah, I'm about done.
Yeah. We covered so much, and these are going to be more 2-hour shows when we're actually live because we were there for the 1 o'clock kickoff. So 11 to 1 p.m. most weekends. We start again on September 6th. Joe will be back on tonight at 7 o'clock, and then he'll be back full time on the 12th. And we are out of here. Have a good
Adios,
day, everybody.
muchachos.